entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hobblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hobblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobbletdodge.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
Where were you the night that the Sacramento Kings made history? Where were you when the Kings lost their 15th straight game? I hope you weren't in the Golden One Center, as those fans made sure to not throw an avalanche of boos at the Kings as they exited the floor, but certainly enough to make you think, enough to hear the frustration of what is now pretty firmly the worst season in the history of the Sacramento Kings. Welcome to Sacramento, Kayla Anderson. Hey, happy to have you here.
Nothing surprising.
You made it just in time for the world to end.
Good thing that I am not one of those people that have been, handed everything my whole life and everything goes my way. I'm quite opposite of that. So I can relate to, people being in the dumps and being in the cellars and trying to eventually work their way out. I always try to think positive, though. So as crappy as it is right now, I do believe that there in the future will be lighting of the beams multiple times throughout the season. And one day, maybe,
I sure hope so.
Talking about the playoffs and all the other good things.
I sure hope so.
But not right now, folks. Not right now.
We are in the thick of it right now, but let's hope this season is the evilest necessary evil that the Sacramento Kings need to go through. I do genuinely hope that 3-4 years from now, we can think back to this season and go, wow, it was horrible when we were in it, but it needed to happen in order to get the Kings on the right track. It needed to happen to get star young player XYZ in the door. Mm-hmm. And then 4 years from now, they're the leader of a perennial playoff team and maybe their first-time All-Star appearance or multi-time All-Star appearance, all-NBA caliber player. Hopefully, we are paying the price now for that joy later. But it's pretty crazy to say. In the long and primarily terrible history of this organization that it's never been this bad.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Like, it is, we've gone through, just in the Sacramento era, and by the way, the 15 straight losses is not in the Sacramento era. It's all time. In the history of one of the oldest franchises in basketball.
We beat the 1959 Royals.
It has never been this bad. But just in Sacramento's history, from almost losing the team to Seattle to the plethora of head coaches and failed draft picks and bad seasons and silly moments, just mistake after mistake, failure after failure, never was it this bad.
Yeah.
And that's stunning to even say.
I think for someone who's being introduced to a new level of bad in Sacramento, just kind of realizing what's happened this year alone, I think it's even harder because you don't exactly know that you're out of it yet. Like, we're still in, like, the steps to even starting to try to rebuild because you have players on this team that you know for a fact are not going to be part of this team in the near future. You don't know if you have a coach that's going to be part of this team in the near future. And on top of it, we have a 15-game losing streak that now broke a record. Like, it's just such a combination of everything you could think of. It is hard to find some sort of positivity with this team.
And that's what I think amplifies these feelings for Kings fans, certainly these feelings for me, like tenfold, is it's not just, wow, this team is bad. It's the Kings aren't anywhere close to the longest losing streak in NBA history.
Right.
They're a long way off.
Yeah.
So it's been worse for a lot of other teams. But a lot of those other teams had something that you're like, okay, there's something there, right? I've for some reason upset Detroit Pistons fans on social media by pointing out that they're the number one team in basketball because they lost enough to be able to get the players to get there.
Yeah.
They have had 3 drafts in a row with a top 5 pick, and then the draft before that, they got the number 1 overall pick in Cade Cunningham. The first few seasons of Cade Cunningham's career, the Pistons were historically awful, but you were watching them going, but Cade Cunningham's here.
He could do something.
What on this roster? Seriously, and I'm the biggest Keegan Murray fan on the planet. What on this roster are you looking at through the hell that we're going through and going, at least he's here?
Not right now.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody. I'm excited about Nick Clifford. I'm excited about Maxim Reno. I've really enjoyed Dylan Cardwell, but I believe I know what they are in the NBA, which can be a contributor towards a future good team, but not the center of a few. And I'm not talking the second center position. I'm talking the star of the future good team. That doesn't exist on this roster.
No.
Your stars are future Hall of Famers who arguably make the team worse when they're on the floor.
Right. And your other star, who arguably you were building around and you were building your offense around, and Domantas Sabonis, he's now on the, mend because he's done for the season. And, oh, by the way, he's pretty much probably not going to be here for the long term, maybe for another year. So it's like you kind of put him out of the equation.
Yep.
And so it's like the only thing that is exciting about maybe what's next is, in fact, the draft. But also, I understand where fans also are like kind of worried and have anxiety about that, because it's like, if we don't get that right, then we're like in a hole even deeper.
Yeah. What's crazy is it's not that, like, I expected the Kings to make history last night. I expected the Kings to lose to the Orlando Magic. So I'm not surprised that it happened. I'm not even that angry that it happened. We've talked about losses are good for this team right now. So the loss itself is not the bad thing. The 15-game losing streak, it's not fun. It's not the right kind of history to make, but it's not itself the bad thing. It's the fact that you lost by 37 points last night after having a 10-point lead at the end of the first quarter. And if we're being honest, in that first half, the Kings were at their worst when Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan were on the floor. But in the second half, the wheels completely fell off this game with the kids, with the young guys who looked completely and utterly lost together. The silliest, most G League mistakes by everybody. And that is the type of performance. We talked about Doug Christie, whether or not he is the right coach for the rebuild. That right there was the type of performance that makes Scott Perry's job easy. That's the type of performance where Scott Perry can go into the offseason and go, regardless of it being a PR nightmare or how bad it looks for me after committing to Doug a year ago, I need to find a new head coach that's going to do this, develop this team right. And I'm not putting all the blame on Doug. Oh, no. No, it's not all Doug's fault. Don't get me wrong. But I think the remainder of this season is the most important stretch of games for Doug to determine whether or not he's the right coach for a rebuild.
Yeah.
And we had a nice break after 2 horrible performances in New Orleans and Utah to send us into the All-Star break. And we were like, that's disgusting. That can't happen more than a couple times again. And you followed it up with a performance that was worse than both of those games. And you did it at home.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. It's hard for me to watch these games right now. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you come out, you have a first quarter where you get excited. They're in the game. They're doing a good job defensively with Orlando. And, then it's like a switch flips. And this has been happening the entire season. Just pick your quarter on when it happens.
Yep.
And the switch flips, and then the Orlando Magic go on like 11-0 run, and then everybody kind of gets off their game. Their shots aren't falling anymore. It's like the cookie just completely crumbles with this Kings team. And so many times they put themselves in such a hole that they can never get back out of it. And in this particular incident, because the young guys had been put in this hole at this point, I feel like their confidence is rocked, and they're not good enough right now as a team, especially the youth of this team, to get back in this game, especially when Orlando is just hitting 3-point shot after 3-point shot when they're not even a good 3-point making team.
Yeah.
And so it's just like when everything goes against the Kings, it goes against the Kings. And I don't know what to make of it, Matt, but if I continue to see this pattern of these awful quarters where they put themselves in that position, I do start to wonder, is that Doug's responsibility, or I don't know what to think about that, because it happens over and over.
And it's not just that it happens over and over. It happens for a variety of different reasons. I mean, we had 2 separate horrendous stretches in this game with completely different lineups on the floor in completely different moments for completely different reasons. The first half was a young lineup of Malik Monk, Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, Keegan Murray, Maxim Reno. Mm-hmm. That 5 together played really well at the end of the first quarter to build a 10-point lead, maintained it a little bit to start the second quarter. Then Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, and Drew Eubanks checked into the game, replacing, I believe, Nick Clifford, Devin Carter, and Maxim Reno. Immediately, there was like a 10-0, 11-0 Orlando Magic run from that point.
Sure.
I'm not celebrating it today. Immediately, an 11-0 run from the Magic with your best players in Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan on the floor. But I can't blame those guys for this loss because, Kayla, DeMar played 19 minutes. Russ played less than 17. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like, wow, the Kings were only bad when those guys were on the floor, because you had that stretch, and then you fast forward to the fourth quarter where the Kings, again, primarily playing their young guys, scored 10 points. 10 points. Yep. I don't care if you've never played, and I've seen this, they need to get court time together. Y'all, they've been in practice together this entire freaking season. And I know it's not every day you're having an extended amount of practice time. But this roster, especially those young guys, it's not like DeAndre Hunter was playing and is learning everybody else. DeAndre Hunter didn't play last night. These guys have been together this year. Granted, there have been injuries keeping guys on and off the court. That's not an excuse for scoring 10 points and the young guys not being able to dribble the basketball more than 2 times without losing it, dribbling it off their foot, and not being able to defend the three worth a damn.
I'm sure somebody posted this on Twitter, but 10 points in a quarter is the fewest the Kings have scored in any quarter since January 21st, 2019.
The offense sucks. The defense sucks. The communication sucks. The young guys look lost. The veterans don't play well. What about this team is endearing or positive at all with a performance like that other than Maxim Reno?
Yeah, it's not. And yeah, by the way, that shot behind the glass was incredible.
Yes, that was crazy.
That was actually my highlight of the night.
And Max had a good game.
He did have a good game. It's interesting because, again, you go back to that first quarter and you get excited, and I feel like almost like they were feeding off of like being at home again and the crowd again. I know it wasn't great, but at least you were getting some energy in that first quarter. And then when you mentioned like these old heads come in, right? The ball immediately went from like you could see the sharing of the ball, you could see the movement to like Westbrook taking a shot. Like it was almost like the ball just then started to stick. And it was like it completely shifted like momentum. And then I just felt the whole game then was complete. And I'm not blaming it on just that move. But like I do feel like you go from like, okay, we're finding a flow to, all right. Like we're back to just the veterans like doing their thing. And
I think what you're getting at is there's just no cohesion throughout this.
There's not.
There's no clear message.
No.
Like Doug talks about the standard.
Right.
But there is nothing that I watch on the floor that is even remotely consistent other than this team is consistently bad.
Yep.
And again, it's not that they lost 15 straight. I expected it to happen. Losses are better than wins right now. So Matt, what are you so mad about? I'm mad because look how terrible they're still playing. Look how bad it is.
It's actually almost worse. That was almost worse than the last game we witnessed.
It's atrocious.
Yeah.
And there's nothing about how they performed last night that gives you any remote hope other than, hey, Maxim Reno played well. Keegan Murray's game was fine. We'll talk about Keegan in the next segment. Keegan Murray played fine. His numbers are fine. But now is the time for Keegan to show that he's capable of being more than fine. Because fine is all he has been. And you're asking him for more. You're paying him for more now.
Yeah.
And fine is not enough. Again, we'll talk about Keegan in a little bit. I'm just using Keegan as an example. There's so many elements of this game that when certain guys are on the floor, they play one way. Certain guys are on the floor, they play another way. They don't mesh. It's not cohesive. One quarter, they'll play this way well. The other quarter, they won't. There's just, it's like a random generator of basketball. Just whatever happens, like rolling dice every time there's a substitution for Doug Christie. Here, how are the Kings going to play now? Is Malik Monk going to hit a bunch of shots? Oh, he did in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, Malik's not going to barely not going to play for the rest of the game. It's just, it just doesn't make sense.
None of these pieces fit together. Let's put the obvious out here. I mean, none of them. Playing the young guys right now, if that's the only positive like we can talk about, and Max, well, we'll talk about him here in a little bit, and he did play well, but like at the same time, you know, Nick Clifford, I still don't feel like consistently like we're getting what we need out of him.
Nick did nothing last night.
Yeah, and it's hard right now because you're just not finding consistent positivity with anything. You're just not. Like we can't go like a day saying, hey, this is actually carried over. Like, this is good. I like how he built on this performance. Like, we go ahead and then we go back. Mm-hmm. We go ahead and we go back. And then overall, we just go down as a team.
Shout out to everybody who's on our Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube chat line. And welcome into the show, by the way. Matt George, Kayla Anderson. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports. Kyle Ledbetter, the producer, on the other side of the glass, pressing the buttons, keeping us honest. If you want to be a part of the conversation, and feel free to agree, disagree, share your thoughts. We are an open forum for conversation, whether you like or dislike anything that we're talking about. Ken Dog Funky.
Whoa,
934.
Matt, Jesus.
Ken Dog Funky says, you make it sound like these young players that are playing together for years. Okay, never mind. I thought I could read this coherently, but there's a lot of typos in it. Essentially what he's saying, Ken Dog Funky, is saying that I'm making it sound like these guys have been playing together for years, but they're playing together for the first time. but they're not. Maybe some of these lineups, those 5 have not played extended minutes together on an NBA floor together consistently. But this group has been together learning this standard for months at this point. And they look like a G League team that's playing pickup basketball together. They looked like that last night. The young guys did in the second half of this game where the wheels completely fell off and everybody out there looked like they had no idea what to do. I think Doug Christie even said it after the game. He talked about, like, there was one possession in the fourth quarter when they only scored 10 points out of a timeout where they ran a drawn-up play. And he said, well, we executed that play well. I'm pretty sure Keegan just missed the shot or whatever. But that was the one play we executed well. But the rest of the quarter was nobody knew what to do. Nobody knew how to play together. And I'm sorry, just going, well, all they need is more time together. No, what they need is to show some sign of cohesiveness, some time of growth, something that tells me that this group can develop into something going forward, because that looked like a bunch of lost kids last night.
I just, that's where I question. And again, these aren't your superstar rookies of the future. They could definitely be a part of what the team is built on moving forward. But I don't think they're going to be the guys where, like, they're the superstars every night, right? So I'm not, like, expecting them to have breakout games every night or to be the game changer every night or to, right now, when you do have new pieces coming in like Keegan Murray, be able to figure it out right away. Because I will say that they have had to work with a really wide variety of guys.
Yes.
And veterans at that.
Yes.
And so I think then once a new veteran comes in the lineup, it seems to be with these guys, like, at least one of them take a step back or like they feel like they've got to give up, like, their, not time, but what's the word I'm looking for? They almost go back in their shell a little. Like, I'm talking about Neek specifically with some of this stuff.
Yeah, you have to kind of
revert back to kind of being the...
I hear what you, like, fall in line a little bit.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And we've done it so many times on this team this year that maybe that's a part of the not being able to find that consistent motion of these players, these young players playing together.
And it just, what stands out to me is just the complete inconsistency of how this group plays. Because, again, the best lineup that the Kings had in that first half were these 5 young guys well, they're not all young, but Malik is kind of the veteran of this group. Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, Keegan Murray, Maxim Reno. That 5 has not played together very much this season. Different pairings and combinations, but that 5 played really well together for a stretch of like 6, 7, 8 minutes. It looked good. And then you saw it again later, and it looked horrendous. That's what I'm talking about. Top to bottom, the inconsistencies of this team's ability to play any sort of way. Like, just play. Don't be great one bit and terrible the next. Just be average throughout. Can we just start there? And that to me is what's most concerning about a game like last night. And again, we are analyzing this team going forward of, this is a rebuilding product. Is Doug Christie the right coach to develop these players? And are these players the right players to start this rebuild with? And most of those questions are no with a performance like last night. Now, that's not the end-all, be-all performance, because there's been a lot of yes based off of how other things have gone. But how is it that Cleveland Cavaliers game in Sacramento can happen, and then the next home game a couple weeks later is this, and that's just acceptable to people? These are 2 complete opposite performances from the same group of guys, minus like Keegan Murray.
Yeah, this is where it becomes really hard as an outsider when you're not in the practice facility every day, when you're not in the meeting or the video rooms, because I don't really know who to put, like, more of the blame on, right? Because you can't put the blame on one person. Like, everybody has to be accountable for their play, right? But is this more of like, okay, are we starting to teeter more towards, like, Doug? I mean, first of all, he's very frustrated. Like, watching that presser,
very much.
He looks defeated.
Uh-huh.
And I would be too. But it's like, are we starting to teeter more in the direction of, like, man, these players just aren't responding? Or is it like these players just, none of them are good and none of them work well together? And it just, I don't know what to say anymore in terms of who to put the more blame in. But they've got to start making decisions on who to put the more blame on.
I just think everything is flawed because this team isn't good at anything. Like, that's it. whatever decision they make is wrong because they're not good at anything. Doug Christie's game plan last night was, hey, they're a bigger team, so pack the paint. Make it difficult for them to score around the rim. You know what? That worked in the first half. Like at the end of the first quarter, I have the numbers here. At the end of the first quarter, the Magic were shooting 20% from the field, 5 of 24, and 30% from 3, 4 of 13. That means they had one field goal in the entire quarter from inside the three-point line. Like in that sense, they were executing the game plan. So you know what the Orlando Magic did? They scored a franchise record for threes. And I asked Doug Christie this question after the game because the Orlando Magic have now done 3 or 4 years in a row where they've come into Sacramento as one of the worst three-point shooting teams and shot lights out.
That's insane, by the way.
27 threes is a franchise record. That beats their former record of 26, set in Sacramento against the Kings in a double overtime game back in 2024. Doug has this context. So I understand if the game plan is pack the paint and we'll live with the threes, you've seen this team consistently kill you with the threes. So if you had switched the game plan and defend the three and don't pack the paint, you would have gotten killed in the paint. The point is they're not good at anything, so no matter what the game plan is, it's destined to fail.
It's not going to work.
This team has no strength.
Right.
It's painfully obvious.
Yeah, but you know, someone's going to get the blame, and that's the thing. And Scott Perry has got to make the decision on, does anyone get the blame this year, though, because of the things that you are saying, Matt? But he also knows, like, we got to try to fix things as much as we can, as quick as we can. Yeah. And it's like, there's a lot of hard decisions, because if I continue to see this kind of basketball the rest of the season, I've really got to put my eye on, could it be like we just got to make a change at the top in terms of coaching? I guarantee you it'll be inevitable that a change will happen if this is what Kings basketball is going to be over the final 25, 26 games of the season. It was 26 last night. Now it's down to 25. The vast majority of them have to be significantly better than this. I'm not saying wins, but if you have games like this, not just 3 games in a row like this, if you have games like this maybe 3 more times for the rest of this season, I don't know if you can feel good at all about bringing much of this back going into next year as the start of your future. You can feel pretty good about Maxim Reno. Yeah, Max played well. Sure. We'll talk about Max's game. Keegan Murray, his game was fine, but fine isn't good enough for Keegan Murray. We'll talk about those two and more coming up next. We're just getting started. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Right now, save $16 on a pair of Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades, plus get 2 times O rewards points only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed. Plus free home delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an InShape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Matt.
Beanboys 15 straight losses last night. But like you said, Kayla, there was at least a moment. Mm-hmm. There was a moment to start that second half where Max was fouled, Maxim Reno, and he made this circus shot floater over the back of the backboard, a three-point play. He had the big smile on his face. Look, Max was at the podium last night, a rookie, a second-round pick rookie, having to take to the podium and answer questions after the franchise that he is barely a part of, or has barely been a part of, I should say. The franchise is having their worst season ever, and he has to answer for it, or he has to answer questions about it. And I thought he handled it like a total pro. I thought Keegan Murray, who also went to the podium, handled it like a total pro. But Max's moment is a good reminder for myself and for everybody that as frustrating as it is, as bad as it seems, like there are good moments in there, and there are things to kind of enjoy and latch onto. And Max gave us not just that moment, but in general, Max didn't have a phenomenal game. He wouldn't tell you it was a phenomenal game, but it was another encouraging, solid performance for the rookie center, who has a lot of opportunity now, not just with Domantas Sabonis out, but Dylan Cardwell out as well. 17 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought some of his passing, especially in that first half, was really good. And he had a steal last night.
Yeah.
So there was something there to take from it.
I think what's been, I was kind of saying earlier, there's just not a lot of positives to take, right? But then I go back and maybe I take that back a little, because I think with him being a second-round pick, Maxim Reno, it is really encouraging what he's done up to this point. Now, you can say he's been given the opportunities because things have gone his way in terms of who's in front of him and the injuries that have happened. And so it's granted him more time to grow in real time, to experience, playing these teams night after night and being able to build on that. He went through a slump, though, if you want to call it a rookie slump, because they all have them.
Yep.
But I felt like instead of just disappearing, he came back and has kind of come back with not a vengeance, but he's kind of like, okay, I'm back. Like I had a little rookie moment, but now I'm going to continue to build on my game. I like his presence when he's out there. I like his leadership. And I like the fact that he continues to work hard on the things he needs to do. He's not perfect by any means, but he's a second-round pick that's probably been the more consistent out of all the rookies or the younger players.
How Max has played this year has been the shining example of this is why you give the young guys playing time and let them figure it out, right? Sure, Max, because Domantas Sabonis has been essentially out all season, with the exception of a stretch here and there, yes, that has opened up the door for Max to get opportunities that maybe he wouldn't have gotten necessarily. But also, you can't just get cardio. You can't just get out there on the floor and run up and down and not contribute. Like, we've seen Max improve drastically from when we saw him in Summer League to now consistently performing and putting up numbers against starting caliber centers and bigs in the NBA. Right? It's when you get the opportunity to start, it's not just how your numbers look.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you're going against and how their numbers look in relation to yours and what your numbers look like against them. And Max is showing that he can perform at a solid level in the NBA against an NBA caliber center, against a starting caliber center. Does that mean that Max himself will be a starting caliber center throughout his entire career? Not necessarily. But if you're putting up, granted it was in a blowout loss, but if you're putting up a 17-point, 14-rebound double-double, giving us flashes of, hey, this young man can pass out of the high post, he can move the basketball as well. You can play through him a little bit more, something that we hadn't seen earlier on in his career. Like, you have to have opportunity in order to show growth.
Mm-hmm.
And Max is taking that opportunity, and that's what you're hoping to see consistently from him for the rest of the season. That's what you're hoping to see consistently from Nick for the rest of the season. That's the kind of progress, in addition to the Kings as a team playing more competitive basketball, that can be used as an argument for why Doug Christie deserves to continue as the developmental coach of this team or the head coach of this team in their rebuild going forward.
And I hope it, look, I want to make it clear too, I never want for coaches, for front office people, it's not in your benefit as fans for these people to just continuously get fired. It does not benefit you. It doesn't. Believe me, I've been in it. It's exhausting. And it only puts your organization back. So for the sake of Kings fans, whether you like him or you don't, I don't want to see Doug Christie get fired. I don't.
100%.
Because y'all, it's going to freaking put you back again. 100%. Unfortunately, we're at this spot where we have to have the discussions.
Yeah.
Because we just aren't seeing enough on a nightly basis that's showing progress, and it doesn't have to be wins. It does not have to be wins. But it has to be like games that are not blowouts every night. Or, one night you're starting this guy and, then the next night you're not. Like Nick Clifford. Like, why can't we just continue to see him in the starting lineup? Like, let's try to have some consistency with what we're doing.
Yes. Spot on. Especially when it comes to, I even add Scott Perry to what you're talking about. Like, changing your front offices and changing your coaching staff over and over again cannot create the stability that the Sacramento Kings desperately need to establish. That being said, you don't use that as a reason to not get rid of or make moves that need to be made. And we're figuring out whether or not moves need to be made right now. We're figuring it out. Some people are there, others aren't yet. That's what the rest of the season is for.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you get tired of me bringing up Mike Brown a lot, I think it's been made perfectly clear that had the Sacramento Kings not fired Mike Brown after a 5-game losing streak, not a 15, Kayla, a 5-game losing streak is when Mike Brown lost his job, and we thought it was bad then. Had they not done that, they would arguably be in a far more stable, far more consistent position than they are in right now. That is an example of, hey, maybe change for the sake of change isn't always a good thing, to your point. And we have sat through coaching carousels here and even a front office carousel from times, or at times over the course of Sacramento's recent history, the Kings' recent history as a franchise. I don't know if it makes fans feel any better to put the blame on one person and have somebody go down with the ship. If it makes you feel better, good for you. What would make all of us feel better is the Sacramento Kings being a stable, solid, not embarrassment of a franchise, which unfortunately is what they have stumbled their way back into. And I do believe that Scott and Doug and the players on the floor are, especially the young guys, are more than interested in being the reason why they can work out of that. The intention has never been the issue with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you said there at the end. It's the consistency or lack thereof.
Yeah.
And it's across the board. It's not just the inconsistency with how they play, the inconsistent messaging and how the actions match the messaging from a coaching and front office standpoint. The inconsistencies of the plan, the timeline, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just commit to something.
Commit to something. And, I know Jeff on here said, girl, he needs to be fired. Well, boy, I'm not saying that he absolutely doesn't. I'm saying that I am just putting it out there for if this does happen and he does lose his job, and then everybody's on here saying, well, why is it taking 5 years to? Because that's why.
Yep.
That's why. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Boy. You just got buoyed by Kayla Anderson. Now you know you're in trouble. But the point is, and we talked about this a lot, I think, last week. If Scott Perry gets to this offseason and has hesitation about whether or not Scott or Doug is going to be the right head coach for the development of this group going forward, then he needs to address it then. Because what would be worse, believe it or not, than where the Kings are at right now is to let Doug have a lame duck season as a developmental head coach for this new rookie in this group, for this group of second-year players, and have them learn and understand how he wants them to play in the standard and blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't go well again, and then Scott gets to the end of the guaranteed years on Doug's contract, moves on from him, brings in a new head coach, even if that head coach is better than Doug Christie and we're more excited about him than we are excited about Doug Christie, all the glowing reasons on the planet. Now all those players who just spent a year and some change learning about Doug Christie now have to completely relearn and completely redevelop under a new head coach who's going to bring in their own thoughts, their own ideas, and that creates setbacks. And that is why I said that. Not because I'm saying Doug shouldn't get fired. I don't know yet. Honestly, if it was me to answer this right now, I don't know. But I'm just warning, like, in the fact that does happen, you can't immediately then think that the new coach is going to come in here and everything's going to be hunky-dory. Like, it's not going to be. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be even longer, if that does happen. If it does happen, it probably does need to happen at the end of the season. You're right.
Everybody needs to look in the mirror, man. And what I said last night is this losing streak is so bad that nobody is excused from it. Everybody wears it. From the rookies who have barely been here to Doug Christie, to his assistants, to everybody in that front office, whether they inherited a mess or not, to, of course, ownership at the very top, Vivek Ranadive. Every single person has a piece of ownership of the worst losing streak in the history of the Sacramento Kings franchise, and you do not get to dump that and blame that on somebody else. Every single person in this organization wears that. We'll take the break. When we come back, it's Friday. That means it's time for a little Q&K with Kayla Anderson. You're listening to Matt Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now during our President's Day sales event. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Come celebrate at Stockton Honda and get huge savings on our giant selection. Plus top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions. We've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Real quick before we get to Q&K, Tay, I see you on hold. Stick with us. We will get you to start next segment if you want to jump into the Kings conversation. But Kayla, what's your question today for Q&K as we try and recover from whatever the hell last night was?
I know. Well, I'll keep it basketball related, but let's go to the college side of basketball.
Ooh, okay.
We've got March Madness coming up. I don't know about you guys, and that's really why I want to get the pulse of not only Matt and Kyle, but everybody who's listening. If you're on the YouTube chat, chime in. Do you think March Madness is the best overall sporting event in terms of just getting like more people involved that don't even like sports? Do you get what I'm going with this?
So I assume that means not just viewership purposes, but with brackets.
Yeah, like it's the most interactive, it's the most involved sporting event in this country.
I would say it's probably the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl has become such a pop culture, you gather for it. Even if you have no interest in football, there's always the commercials, or there's the halftime show, or you can do the Super Bowl betting squares. There's something that appeals to pretty much everybody and anybody with the Super Bowl. But March Madness does a really good job of making anybody who could care less about college basketball and these different schools and get that. The joke is with with March Madness is like I'm filling out my bracket based off of the logos or the team colors, right? And there's always people that are like that every single year. And it just captures interest really, really well.
Yeah.
So it's up there, but I would say it's Super Bowl for me personally.
So I know where you're going with the Super Bowl and how that worldwide probably captures attention. And that's a week of kind of getting prepared. So they do a good job of events leading up to the Super Bowl. But why I look at March Madness, like maybe why it gets so much interaction and maybe people at the water cooler at work are just talking about random games coming up, is because it happens all month.
Yeah.
And it's just like an ongoing thing, and people get excited about, the brackets or the upsets.
Yeah.
The Cinderella teams, that becomes a thing, a topic. And so I don't know why I just continue to feel like it does strike so many chords with even non-sports fans that want to get involved.
I would argue the deeper you go into the tournament, the less
appealing
it is
yeah.
because those first rounds and the upsets are kind of why people watch, and the chaos of having 4 games on at the same time.
Yeah.
Then once you get deeper and deeper, it's not, the games get more and more meaningful, and the more diehard fans like, okay, this is what it's all about. But the more average fans like, all right.
It's like the first weekend of March Madness is probably one of the best to talk about. And by the way, I feel like people now use it as a holiday.
Yes.
Like a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend.
I would 100% agree.
Kyle?
Yeah, I think Matt kind of outlined the points for why you would maybe make the case for it. The Super Bowl, I think, is a good shout in terms of like one day bringing people more engaged. I think the Olympics probably beat March Madness too. Now, obviously, the Olympics don't happen as often. But yeah, I mean, I see random people talking about curling and random people talking about like speed skating when, and I think, again, not that it's just a ratings conversation, but I think more people are consistently engaged with the Olympics when it's going on than March Madness. But again, the Olympics don't happen as often. So, like, I think March Madness is a good shout for third place.
Okay,
I guess
that's fair.
I feel like the Olympics are. I don't know how to describe.
They're a little niche, in a way.
They're pretty niche, and they're special in the sense that at least the Winter Olympics, it's every 4 years. The Summer Olympics, it's every 4 years. March Madness feels like a yearly festival, the same way you have like Bottle Rock or you have what's the country one?
Country in the Park?
No, it's the festival that they do.
CMAs
or whatever.
Yeah,
they do these music festivals, right?
Yep.
Or Tomorrowland for EDM. It's like for that first week of March Madness, it is just a basketball festival where wherever you are, you just have a bunch of basketball on, and there's a lot of side things that are happening around these fun basketball games, and it's all over the country because these first rounds, we've had some in Sacramento. The women are going to be here in Sacramento for the NCAA.
Men in San Jose
Men in San Jose,
2016.
right? It's all over the place. So you get these neutral locations, these fun crowds, these matchups you would never see before, these upsets that you never see coming. It's silly. It's festival. It's festive.
I get what you're saying with that too. In March, I feel like Arizona is always a good place to, like, if you're planning like a spring break trip to go watch a little bit of spring training baseball, and you know that the tournament's going on, it's almost always like one of those things too, like I'm going to plan my vacation in March because a lot's going on. People are out and about. People are watching the games. It's, there's a different energy, especially that first weekend. So
I will say that part specifically is interesting, the actually going to watch it part, because I went to March Madness when it was in Sacramento in 2023, and it was like, first of all, half-empty arena for part of it, and two, the moment I remember was in between games, they put the buzzer beater that Jalen Slauson, I can't remember what school he went to, but his team hit the buzzer beater over Virginia, and the crowd just went like crazy in that moment. So like even at the arena, you're watching the other games that are happening as if you're watching it at work. So the actual like in-arena March Madness experience, I think, is really strange or different than the whole like everyone gets involved in March Madness watching on their TVs.
Shout out to Dwayne Baker. Stagecoach is what I was talking about. It's like a huge country music festival. Stagecoach. That's what it feels like. The March Madness feels like a basketball festival.
Yeah.
Basketball Stagecoach.
Summer League kind of feels the same way, but that's more of a convention. Like, March Madness feels like a festival.
Yeah, but when you go to Vegas, like I went for my little nephew's AAU last year during Summer League. And what's cool about it is you're right, though. You feel like you're a part of it, even if you're not necessarily, because everybody there is basketball orientated. Yeah, and you're walking down the strip and you see just like an NBA guy right there or a former NBA. You know, it's
bump into a player or bump into a legend.
It's just cool.
Yeah, Summer League's really
it's a good
fun.
vibe.
And Summer League's going to be a lot of fun this year, too, with the Kings having another top pick. So hopefully we'll be heading down there for Summer League action in some capacity. This summer. I'm very excited for March Madness this year, not just because of the typical allure of March Madness and not just because the Sacramento Kings are likely going to have a top 5 pick, but the crop of talent in college basketball is so rich right now to where I think every game has the potential to just be stunning on both the men's and women's side. So I'm
there are always
very
those
excited.
upsets.
Oh yeah,
there's always those upsets.
I mean, no matter what, I will lose in my bracket because I always do terrible with my brackets.
You're saying you're not going to be the one who gets through the first weekend perfect?
We need to do brackets.
I don't know if I've ever done that. Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
do,
Kayla,
Jason.
don't worry.
Don't worry.
Okay, I wanted to make sure someone was
Jason
responsible
Ross's
for that.
legendary bracket pool with
Perfect.
hundreds of people in
Talk
it.
to Jay Ross.
All right.
He'll hook you.
You will be
Oh.
receiving an invite.
We have plenty of fun during.
And then, sorry, 2 years ago, Jason was dead last in his own bracket pool. It was very funny.
It happens.
You never know, man. I swear, people who have no idea, who know nothing about basketball, who pick based off of I like the name of their school or I like the colored jerseys that they wear, they always do better.
And they drive me crazy.
They always do better.
Also, these bracket pools are dumb because the end is so heavily weighted that it's like if you pick, it disincentivizes you from not just picking a 1 seed to win. Because if you get your team to the final, then you can make up for a terrible first weekend.
But then a big upset can completely destroy your bracket too. So you have to have a side bracket that's like upset heavy just to see maybe you'll get lucky.
Yeah, but you're like disincentivized from picking the first round upsets because it's like you only get 1 point if you get it right versus picking the favorite. Anyways, I have a thing about brackets are done badly.
I can see that.
Brackets should be done if you pick an upset like 12-5, you get 7 points instead of 1 point. Anyways.
We will take the break. When we come back, Nick Wagner of ESPN, he's of course a great reporter who covers the San Francisco 49ers. He will join us as we talk about this Niners offseason. We're going to have a conversation a little bit later on too about Max Crosby. The Niners could potentially be in the mix to trade for Raiders star defensive end Max Crosby. And other teams are also in the mix as well. Some potential deals that we'll go through. That's coming up later in the show. Nick Wagner joins us next. Tay, we will also get to you before we talk to Nick. And spring training baseball begins today. So we have our very, very early baseball predictions coming your way too. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
2 iconic comedians, 1 night of laughs. David Spade, Dana Carvey.
In 1998, they invented the cordless mic. Now let me just, listen, Paramount Theater, let's not jump on trends.
Even in the best marriage, at one point, you look over and go, not my best choice.
Friday, February 27th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now at visitthundervalleyresort.com. David Spade and Dana Carvey together.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease the 2025 Accord Hybrid Sports Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and 0 security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Nick Wagner of ESPN, of course, great reporter covering the San Francisco 49ers, will join us here in a couple of minutes. But before that, Tay has been patiently waiting on hold, wants to jump in on this Kings conversation. Tay, we appreciate you sticking around. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Matt and Kayla. How you guys doing?
We're good, man.
Bet on the Kings.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before I start, Matt, I think you need to know this. You know the post-game podcast you recorded about 10 days ago where you screamed in the beginning when they set the record?
Yes.
That's been going around as a meme. I don't know if you've seen that, but just to let you know.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, at least something positive came out of it.
Yeah, and people are using it actively for, other, meme purposes outside of basketball that makes sense in the context of it. So
I love it.
Just to let you know, we're enjoying that. Anyway, so I think there's 4 signature losses this season, if I may summarize. That includes the last night. The 30-point losses against the Spurs, Hawks, Grizzlies. In those games, Wemby didn't play for Spurs. Trae Young wasn't there for Hawks. Joe Morant didn't play for the Grizzlies. And last night, Franz Wagner wasn't there. And Magic shot 27 three-pointers last night, and they set a franchise record. And this guy named Javon Carter, I'd never heard of him, who plays point guard for the Magic, was plus 34, and Nick Clifford was minus 34. Let that sink in for a little bit. I guess, looking at those signature losses where, we get blown out, I think it's very apparent that I don't know what this team's defensive identity is. And, Doug has said multiple times he doesn't care about the offense. He needs, we're a defensive team. So with that being said, I want to ask both of you guys, what is this team's current defensive identity? And I'll take the answer offline. Thank you.
Tay, we have Nick Wagner on hold, so we're going to get to him in just a second, but we can talk about that and answer that a little bit more down the road. But in terms of defensive identity, I know they want to be scrappy, they want to be physical, they want to play aggressive, and Doug's all about like making them feel you. Like that's what he's all about. They always are going to know you're there, and you're not going to be a pushover. Like that is very much Doug's mindset, and this team does not
fit that right now.
Right. So obviously there's a lot of work to do for the Sacramento Kings this season, and especially this upcoming offseason. And there was a lot of work to do for the San Francisco 49ers in this current offseason. Never too early, even fresh off the Super Bowl. Never too early to get to work. And Nick Wagner from ESPN, who covers the 49ers, joining us right now. Nick, I know there's really no such thing as the offseason in the NFL anymore. It's year-round, but Kyle Shanahan has already had to be hard at work replacing some lost coaches, bringing in a new defensive coordinator. No rest in Santa Clara, is there, for the Niners?
No. It's always something, as the defensive coordinator thing has become a yearly tradition. But at least they've got that figured out now. And I would say that actually this year I think there's less movement on the coaching staff than maybe there has been in some recent years. Obviously, it's still happening. Losing your tight end / run game coordinator to the division rival Seahawks, who just won the Super Bowl, is a little bit painful. But not as many changes in terms of the sweeping changes, which is good because they need to be getting ready for the revamping this roster and making moves that way to improve the personnel.
Nick, let's start with this because I know there were different candidates in the mix for that DC job. What do you think about the hire of Raheem Morris?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Kayla, is with Raheem Morris, I think the 49ers finally have a chance to get some stability at that spot. As we just talked about, this is the fifth year in a row that they've been looking for a new defensive coordinator. Some of that, of course, is because guys have moved on to head coaching jobs. Some of that was bad hires and people who weren't fits with Steve Wilkes and Nick Sorensen. And so the 49ers, I think with Raheem Morris, he's very close to Kyle Shanahan, but also you wonder if, his chances to be a head coach, I don't want to say they've expired, because if he does a good job here, maybe he would get another opportunity, but it may not be right away. And so bringing in somebody who also has some new ideas and has run defenses that look a little different than what the 49ers run, I think can be a positive because it can make them look at things a little bit different way. So I think there's some positives in that regard. Raheem Morris, definitely somebody, if you talk to players who have played for him, universally loved. I haven't found anybody who dislikes playing for Raheem Morris in any of his previous stops. So I think in all the cultural ways, he's going to be a great fit. I think the interesting thing is going to be how he changes things, maybe the way the defense looks. And I think we'll get an idea of some of that as they make tweaks to the roster via free agency in the draft.
Nick Wagner, 49ers reporter for ESPN, joining us. Nick, I hope I can make this make sense, the question is formulating in my brain, but how much of a coveted spot is it, you think, to be on Kyle Shanahan's staff? Not just because there's only 32 defensive coordinator positions or there's only so many coaching jobs out there, but working under and working for Shanahan specifically, whether it is in like a DeMeco Ryans or Robert Saleh's case, trying to elevate themselves to have their own team one day, or to, in Saleh's case, get another shot at being a head coach, to just finding some stability and working under one of the brightest minds in football. How much do you think being a part of Kyle Shanahan's staff is a coveted position around the league?
I think it's very coveted, and I would probably extend that to Sean McVay as well. Just because, if nothing else, first of all, if you're a young coach coming up and you look around and see who's not even if they're getting hired, but who are getting the first looks, who's always generating interviews and opportunities to move up either to coordinator jobs or to head coaching jobs, teams are generally going to the Shanahan-McVay trees first and foremost. And so you're even seeing that, with the Rams this year, their offensive coordinator, who was with the 49ers before, Mike LaFleur, is now the coach in Arizona. But Nate Scheelhaase, who they just promoted to offensive coordinator, he is a guy who got some job interviews. And the same thing with the 49ers, Clay Kubiak. And you don't even have to call plays, and you're getting interviews for these jobs. And so I think one of the things that's really fascinating that Kyle Shanahan does that maybe doesn't get as much credit, but a lot of these young coaches, he likes to make them start on a different side of the ball than maybe they would otherwise. And he takes that. I could take you all the way back to when Kyle Shanahan was an assistant very early in his career in Tampa Bay. He was on John Gruden's staff, and he was offensive quality control. And one of the things he did, and he will still tell you to this day, maybe the most formative time in his coaching career was at night. He would go into Monty Kiffin, then the Bucs, legendary defensive coordinator. He would go into his defensive meetings. He would sit in the back, and he would just take notes. And that staff had Monty Kiffin. It had Mike Tomlin. It had Rod Marinelli. It had a lot of guys who would go on to be either head coaches or well-known defensive coordinators. And Kyle Shanahan learned offense by learning defense, right? He learned that if I do this, this is the way things are going to react. So you see guys like Bobby Slowick, who's now the offensive coordinator in Miami. He started as a defensive assistant for the 49ers. Brian Fleury, who just took the offensive coordinator job in Seattle, he started as a defensive assistant. So I think Kyle Shanahan has a method of kind of getting guys opportunities to see things holistically, which eventually makes them much better head coaching candidates.
We are pleased to be joined by Nick Wagner, does an incredible job reporting for the 49ers for ESPN. When it comes to free agency, Nick, we love this time of year, right? And we're already thinking about it. What are the Niners needing to first and foremost maybe think about when it comes to bringing a position or even if you have a specific player in?
Yeah, Kayla, I think the hardest part with free agency, especially as we sit here right now in February, whatever day it is, we don't know what the free agent market is going to look like because of franchise tags and all that kind of stuff. And everyone gets excited about, let's just say, Alec Pierce, the wide receiver from Indianapolis, who makes sense, right? Like that's a guy who would be a good fit for the 49ers, but will he even be available by the time we get to free agency? Right. We don't know that. And the problem is, too, when you factor in what the market then looks like by the time we get to free agency, those guys that are available, the few that make it through and are considered, worthy of that money, the prices go through the roof because there's just not a lot to choose from, and everybody's got cap space that they need to spend. So me personally, I think the 49ers are probably in a position that they're going to be a little more aggressive than maybe they thought they would be at this time last year, just based on the fact that last season went better than maybe most people expected to, coming off of kind of the roster reset they did last year. But I'm not sure they're going to go out and spend big on a guy like an Alec Pierce if he does hit free agency. Or I know people want to talk about Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens, the center, and I think every fan base in the country has said Tyler Linderbaum should be signing with their team. So it's hard to envision that they'll necessarily go out and make a huge splash on a free agent signing. But I do think something that's worth keeping an eye on is the trade market, particularly at wide receiver. I think the 49ers, they know they need to get better at that position. They need to add juice to that room specifically. And there should be some veteran receivers who I think are going to be available. I don't necessarily know how exactly that's all going to shape up, but that's certainly a position that I'm keeping an eye on because I think even if they add in a trade a wide receiver, that's still going to be something in the draft that they're going to need because they need more than one.
Yep. We're joined by Nick Wagner, San Francisco 49ers reporter for ESPN. Nick, you have the reigning Super Bowl champions in your division. We already know it's the best division in football, and obviously the Niners are expecting to put themselves right back in the mix up there with the Rams and the Seahawks to potentially make a Super Bowl run again next year. And a lot of people, when they think that, think, okay, you got to go big fish hunting, right? What's Max Crosby doing? You got to go get what stars available that you could bring in. But a lot of the conversation, a lot of the talk that I hear around the Niners and the things that I read around the Niners is they're very excited and they have their attention on bringing in a new crop of young talent that can fill in some of those gaps and can fit the mold of what Kyle Shanahan and the Niners are trying to build, like reinforcements in a way rather than big fish hunting. Do you feel the same way about that? There's definitely a focus on the next generation of talent that San Francisco is trying to add to their win now window.
Yeah, Matt, I would take it a step further, and this is a drum that I've been banging on anyone who's read me or listened to me for the last couple of years, is it's not just adding more talent. They need the next nucleus of stars. Yeah. Like, they need to figure out who are the pillars of this franchise going to be for the next 5 to 7 years, because, and I think we might have even talked about this a little bit last time I was on with y'all, like, you look at Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, all those guys are either getting up there in age, coming off a significant injury, or a combination of the two. And when I look at their roster right now and you say, who are the nucleus, who are the guys that they're going to be building around for the next generation, Brock Purdy, certainly, which is a great one because it's your quarterback, so that's good. But Diamador Lenore is the only other one I look at the roster and say, well, he's definitely that guy. I guess you could argue Colton McKivitz at right tackle, who's gotten better, but I'm not sure he's a star-level player. So the question then becomes, well, how do we attain those guys? How do we get those guys? And if you can make a trade for a guy who is younger and fits that bill, great. But those guys are not exactly available around the league. And then you have to factor, okay, let's just use Max Crosby as an example because everyone wants to talk about him. Well, he's getting closer to 30 years old, right? Like, he's still a very good player. But if you trade for him, you're going to be giving up picks that could be used to get a young star theoretically. And that's the thing, guys, that is so important for these 49ers, because when Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and this team finally took off in 2019, they had done such a good job of finding those stars in the draft, whether it was early or late. George Kittle, Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, all those guys were homegrown, home-picked guys with their own draft picks. And they haven't done that for a few years now. Other than Brock Purdy, it's been a while since they've drafted guys like that. So I think they found some complimentary guys, but they got to figure out a way to kind of flip that back on its head where they're finding these guys who are homegrown stars. There may be a 26 or 25-year-old guy who comes available at wide receiver or something who is a star that would be worth it. But unless you're sure that it's going to be a guy who you get and can be here for a long time, I'm not sure it's going to be worth giving up those early picks.
Yeah, and what's interesting when you say that, Nick, is Jawan Jennings, coming out of the University of Tennessee, was a 7th-round pick for the Niners, right? And he's become a household name when it comes to that organization. And he's been given opportunities and taken advantage of them. But obviously, it's a situation now like, can you pay him? Are you willing to pay him? What do you really feel gut-wise, Nick, that they're going to do with Jennings? I mean, do you feel like – I feel like his market is so great right now.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Jennings is back. I never say never, but even just like, you guys have been in locker rooms and you get to the end of the season and you do the like locker room clean out day for press conferences, and you just with free agent particularly, you could get a feel for just kind of how they're feeling about things. And I asked Jawan Jennings something like, we asked a couple of free agent questions. He didn't really want to go there. And I said, well, what has your time here meant to you? And he got very emotional. And it was just kind of a tell, right? Like, he doesn't necessarily think he's going to be back. I think the 49ers, going back to last year when they were negotiating with Jawan Jennings during training camp, he wanted a long-term extension and a big money extension. His asking price, to my understanding, was well beyond where the 49ers were going to be willing to go. I don't know that he did anything last year that would make the rest of the league want to pay him that kind of money. And I'm talking, $20 plus $25 million a year. I don't think that's going to happen, even if he hits free agency. But I still think he's probably above, the 12 to 14 where the Niners would feel comfortable from an annual average value standpoint. And the thing with Jennings, again, a great player, a homegrown player, has been very good for them for a long time, but he is also not a speedy guy. Yep. And when you get up in age, closer to 30 a little bit, and you lose that step when you already aren't that fast, it can be difficult to kind of maintain that level of productivity. And I think you saw some of that this year, even just if you go back and look at some of the plays that he made, even in 2024 that he didn't make in 2025.
Sure.
Well, Nick, it wouldn't be the NFL offseason without us killing some time by overreacting to things, right? And you have the story out there of 2 international games for the 49ers next season, and for both Australia and Mexico City, and the amount of miles they'll have to travel, and conspiracy, or are they trying to showcase the Niners brand? Is this a good or bad thing? How do I get angry about it? What do you make of just the 2 international, I guess we can call them opportunities for the Niners, and the NFL clearly wanting to showcase the brand that is the San Francisco 49ers to the international audience?
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Part of this, guys, giving up the home game to go to Mexico City is just a function of the 49ers were due. They had to give one up at some point because I don't think they've given up a home game. I think it's 2010 was the last time they did, and pretty much everyone else around the league, with the exception of the Cowboys, who are now also doing it, going to Brazil this year. I don't think they've done it in a long time. So I think that was part of it. So that one was always going to happen. Once Estadio Azteca, or I think it's Estadio Banorte is what it's called now, but once that got revamped for the World Cup, they were always going to go back to Mexico City. So that's not a surprise. The Australia one is more interesting in the sense of, I wonder how much the Rams, because, the Rams can protect home games, right? So you can protect which opponent is coming to town that you want to play. But I also wonder if the Rams are sitting there looking at the amount of 49ers fans that go to games at SoFi, and they say, hey, you know what? If we're going to have this many Niners fans anyway, we might as well go make them travel, 16 hours via plane to play us. And it may still be a very Niners-heavy crowd. I would guess that it probably will be in Australia, but it's maybe not as daunting as, having to go silent count in your own stadium like they have over the years. So I think that part of it is kind of fascinating, and I'm curious to see who the Niners end up playing in Mexico City. But, yeah, it's a tough one, and I think the toughest thing for the 49ers, and you talk about the added travel, it's not just that they're traveling so much. It is what those travels are replacing because, A, you're giving up a home game, which is 0 miles of travel, and then, B, you're giving up a road game, which is your closest flight and your easiest flight. And then you're turning that into your most difficult and longest flight that anyone is going to have. So that part of it, I think, is awfully tough, particularly when you're talking about a team that has dealt with so many injuries and has an aging roster. It's definitely something that we're going to be keeping a close eye on next year, just the toll that travel takes.
Are you going, Nick? Do you got the points? You got the miles? The bags packed?
Ozzy.
How long? You got to make it a week, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make it a week too. I don't know all the details yet. I'm sure I will be going. I will not be using personal miles. Let's be very clear on that. But I look forward to adding to my collection of miles if that is what's required. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Getting the chance to do it to watch some football would certainly be a great way to get there for the first time.
For sure. Nick Wagner of ESPN, he reports on the 49ers, and I know that teams can begin using those franchise transition tags. I know Eddie Pinheiro, the kicker for the Niners, who has come up clutch this past season, is probably the only candidate worthy of this, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, obviously, you would prefer not to use the tag on a kicker, but the 49ers have done it before in this regime. Robbie Gould, they did it, and then eventually signed him to a long-term extension. I think the Niners, I think they believe that they can get him signed to a deal without having to go that route. But the next couple of weeks will be telling in that regard. And I think the tag is, $6-7 million. If it's franchise transition, is a little less than that. But I'm sure they would prefer it to be something around $4 million. But I think the Niners have learned very valuable lessons when it comes to kicker over the last few years. Robbie Gould was such a sure thing for them, and that's why they franchised him when they did. And then they switched to Jake Moody, and we all know what they went through at kicker in that situation. And then they got Eddie Pinheiro, and suddenly it was stabilized, which was kind of amazing how well it turned out after getting rid of a kicker, because sometimes when teams lose one kicker, they start cycling through them repeatedly. And I know the 49ers would prefer not to have to play that game if they can avoid it.
Nick, you've been so great with your time. We really appreciate it here as this off season really gets going. I know it's been kind of made into a joke, and it's kind of been made into just something to banter about and to laugh about a little bit when talking about electrical substations and trying to find out what's causing all this injury. But there was a nugget in the joke that is truthful, and that's the organization is going to be doing an extensive investigation search into anything that they can possibly do to limit these catastrophic injuries as much as possible, because regardless of what's causing it, there's probably something that you can always do better. How are you tapped in at all to that? Again, I don't know if we want to even call it an investigation, but are you tapped into it all, what the Niners are specifically doing and looking at and how they are trying to attack the injury prevention that has gone to a whole nother level with these last couple of seasons?
Yeah, my understanding is this is just going to be an off season of kind of fact finding, and I know that they're reaching out to other teams around the league and kind of trying to see what other teams are doing, and I think they're going to have to look at the way they practice and the intensity with which they practice, particularly on Thursdays during the regular season. I know, it's funny because I think people always conflate two things, which is length of practice with intensity of practice. And those are not the same thing. You can have a 3-hour practice that is far more relaxed than an hour and a half practice that you may have the same amount of practice reps squeezed into 90 minutes versus 3 hours, right? So I think those are all things that they're going to have to look at. The electrical substation thing, obviously, I think the problem they have is that sometimes perception can become reality, and particularly when it comes to athletes and players who care about their bodies, and even if it's just a very small percentage chance that it is affecting them or it is affecting them in a very small way, they want to know that. And as players talk about it and guys express the possibility that they think it could be real, 49ers have to at least try to figure out what it means. Do I think that they're going to be able to find any sort of statistical evidence to support or even necessarily debunk it? Probably not. Probably not in my lifetime, because I don't know how you would even begin to go about doing those things. I'm not a scientist. I don't understand any of that stuff, but I also think it'd be unwise to just completely slough all that stuff off based on the fact that people and players are talking about it. And I can just tell you guys, I covered the Rams when they were in St. Louis a long time ago, and there was a landfill that was nearby the Rams training facility. And over the years, people in that area, including in the Rams building, not players or coaches necessarily, but just staff members who were there every day for the whole season, were getting cancer at a higher rate than other places. And eventually there was a documentary, I think it's called Atomic Homefront, that HBO made, that was about the landfill and some of the nuclear waste that was in the landfill that was leading to extreme causes of cancer. That is obviously an extreme example of this, and certainly well beyond hamstring pulls and things like that. But I say that to say that I'm never going to be one who, if I don't know, I'm never going to be one to sit here and just wildly rule things out without knowing more information.
Yeah.
Nick, you've been phenomenal. Enjoy the offseason as much as you can. This will not be the last time we have you on, especially as things start to heat up around the NFL draft. And we know the Niners got plenty of picks in that NFL draft, so we'll see what they decide to do with them. Appreciate you creating and making the time, and we'll hopefully be able to have you back on if you'll give us that time very, very soon.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, you got it, guys. Take care. See ya.
Really a pleasure to talk to Nick Wagner, amazing 49ers reporter for ESPN. But football, you had your time. You might be a year-round sport, but you had your time, because today, spring training baseball games begin.
Let's go.
No games for the Giants. No games for the A's.
But
a big game for this show. I'll tell you what that game is beginning at noon, and we will have our way too early MLB season predictions. All three of us putting our predictions on the line. It will go up on the wall, and we'll see how off or how on we are. That's coming up next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh my God, I need baseball. I need baseball. I need the Sharks the Shark season to resume, and I need freaking baseball. With how this NBA season has gone and spring training has begun or is beginning.
It's sprung.
Today, spring has sprung. In fact, there is baseball happening right now. The Yankees are taking on the Orioles. So I know what Frankie Cardicelli is doing. He's locked into Yankees-Orioles baseball to start spring training.
We bring the boom! That's what we do!
That is, I'm just happy to see baseball back. Now, no Giants games today. No A's games today, although you best believe when those start, if we have ways to watch them, we will be watching them. However, show fight. The San Diego Padres are taking on the Seattle Mariners, so you guys can't be friends for the next 2 hours.
No, the Padres and Mariners have a long and storied history. They fight for the Eddie Vedder Cup, Matt. I don't know if you know about this.
Eddie Vedder Cup.
They came up with a fake trophy for the Mariners Padres every year. We are simpatico, okay? Mariners and Padres, we're real simpatico.
We are one.
I think they're both the same spring training facility, which is probably why they're playing each other.
Too friendly. I don't like it.
Doesn't like it at all.
Too friendly.
No, we're simpatico, Matt.
We need to fight.
Wants the ish talking to begin.
We need to fight. Oh, you best believe when the A's play the Mariners, I will be the little chihuahua barking up at the big bad Mariners.
We're going to have to do the birthday game weekend because it is a Sunday and my birthday's on the Friday. No, your birthday's on the Friday. Mine's on the Saturday.
Yep.
But the game was on Monday.
The Mariners, after our weekend, after our birthday weekend, the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when Seattle's in town.
Oh, then that's fine too.
Also, Whitey's birthday weekend as well. So we'll just have to do it as a show.
So on that Friday, we're just all gonna have a party together.
Yep, we sure are.
Big old 3 May Day birthday.
I like cookies. I like cakes. Just to let everyone know.
Well, we know you like donuts too.
What kind of cake?
I don't really. Frosting is. I am particular on cake, so it'd probably be better to keep it like with cookies or cupcakes or something. Because cake frosting wise can get a little iffy with me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like too sugary of frosting.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, baseball season is it's not fully here, but boy, we're close. There is baseball being played, so that means we can put on our baseball caps and get out a crystal ball and do as best as we possibly can as a show, each individually, to make our baseball predictions. We are all three going to predict the World Series matchup and winner, the AL and NL MVPs, the A's record, the Giants record, and then a random prediction of something that can happen this season. We're all going to do this, and it's going on sticky notes, and it's going up on the wall to see how well that they hold up. So, who would like to go first with their predictions? Kayla, would you like to start?
Can we go around each time?
Let's do that too.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Round robin it.
We'll round robin it.
robin it.
I'm writing everybody's names down so I can get the predictions correct. So let's start with our World Series matchup and the winner, Kayla Anderson.
Okay, so I am gonna go ahead. This is tricky because I don't want to do anything that's like super obvious, but I do believe the NL East has some interesting competitors this year. And I think it's easy to probably say the LA Dodgers because it's just like they seem so automatic. But at what point are they going to be, dismantled? And so I'm just going to do it to shake things up. And I think that I'm going to dismantle the LA Dodgers, and I'm going to go ahead and put those Atlanta Braves in.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
So Braves versus...
Okay, so this is where I might be a little bit, biased. Look, Toronto, they beat us at the last second last year with the George Springer bomb. And I remember where I was when it happened, walking off my plane, having to see that, listening to people be so disappointed. And I think Seattle at some point has got to win. They got to get to a World Series. So I have got to put my Seattle Mariners in for the AL representatives.
And the winner is?
Seattle.
Seattle.
That's right. That's right. I got to give myself a little love. It probably won't happen, but if it is, it's going to probably happen this year.
So Kayla Anderson has the Atlanta Braves versus the Seattle Mariners in the World Series. I would be very interested in that World Series, let me tell you. And she has the Mariners winning it all. Kyle, who is your World Series matchup?
Yeah.
Should I just write Padres now?
No, look, as much as I want to be Padres person, I know they're not going to be good this year. They didn't spend any money this summer. They're just signing a bunch of one-year contracts, like major people. Dylan Cease is gone. Luis Ariz is gone. If the Padres make the playoffs, I'm going to be happy this year. But I don't want to pick the Dodgers for similar Kayla reasons, and just for generally the health of baseball going forward.
I know, right?
So I'm going to go with the Phillies. Go Phillies.
Okay.
I think they'll make it to the World Series. And the AL... See, the AL's so weird because for so many years it was like you could just pencil in the Astros in the ALCS,
Sure.
but now the Astros are also not spending money, which, I don't know what to do with that. I'm not going to pick the Mariners. Not going to pick the Blue Jays, so I think I'm resigning myself a little bit to our buddy Frankie's New York Yankees.
Oh, Phillies.
Yuck.
Philadelphia, New York would be a very fun World Series.
Not that, I'm so sold on the Yankees and what they're doing, but I'm like, the Mariners seem like the same team as last year, and hey, maybe that's better than the Yankees. Toronto's kind of the pick I probably should do because they added a bunch of people this offseason. But if it's not those two, I'm like, I guess it's the Yankees, or unless Boston's going to have a crazy turnaround or something.
So who's your winner between the Phillies and Yankees?
I'll go Phillies.
Phillies.
I hate both of those teams with a passion.
Phillies World Series champion.
And I dislike their fan bases. Sorry, Frankie.
Okay, listen. This is not who we want. This is predictions. The Dodgers are paying for World Series titles.
Sick.
They're gonna be there.
But it's also baseball, so maybe they'll lose in the NLDS.
One can only hope.
Didn't the Diamondbacks beat them a couple years ago?
One
yes.
can only hope. But I am putting the big bad blue machine, the LA Dodgers, in the World Series. And I'm putting them against Kayla Anderson's Seattle Mariners.
Whoa!
Yay.
You better pick the Mariners. You're not going to, but wouldn't we feel so good
what
about
should have been the World
ourselves?
Series last year?
I think the Seattle Mariners are primed to be just as good, if not better, than last season. I don't think last season was a flash in the pan year. I think that team is deep, unbelievably talented, and I don't think they need the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. I don't think they need him to hit the same amount of home runs to be just as good. He's going to be a great threat, but it's not like it's as far as Cal Raleigh takes them. I think that's a very deep team. So I do think the Mariners will make it to the World Series.
But they're not going to.
Where they will lose.
Where they will get smoked out.
Where they will lose to the Dodgers.
Feeling so good.
Give me the Dodgers over the Mariners in the World Series. I don't like it, but I will predict it. All right, I will go first for AL MVP.
Okay.
Because you know my boy's got to be in there. Nick Kurtz
take mine.
took the world by storm in half a season.
Yeah.
Look out with what this kid is going to do with a full season, including half of his games at Sutter Health Park, where if you bunt the baseball, it goes 400 feet.
Sure.
Give me Nick Kurtz
I like that.
as the AL MVP and the home run leader.
Okay.
He's gonna capture the world by storm, and then everybody will be talking about what the A's can trade him for.
So I was gonna go with that, so I could get some love here in the.
You can still
at
get
least,
some love.
Current home market for the A's, but I am gonna go a different direction, and I was gonna go in the direction that would pump up my team again because I truly feel like he could win it in Julio Rodriguez,
love
but.
him.
I think I'm going to go a different direction, and I'm going to go Vladdy.
Vladdy.
Yeah, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., baby.
He was my second pick if someone took Nick.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Vladdy.
I'm going to be boring, but I'm just going to make this point. It's going to be Aaron Judge because Aaron Judge is so good.
So boring.
I know the big dumper thing was fun last year, and I get it, but he's the best average hitter in baseball. He's the best power hitter in baseball. He's the best guy at drawing walks in baseball. Aaron Judge is so freaking good, and we don't appreciate it enough.
Are you a Yankees fan at heart?
I'm not.
I think
just
Kyle's
appreciate.
a Yankees fan secretly.
No, Aaron Judge, Linden native. Aaron Judge is everything.
Sacramento's own.
I do like Linden.
Sacramento's
Linden.
Sacramento's own Aaron Judge.
Like Aaron
Judge is every bit as good as Kyle said, which is why it's going to be really, really funny when he hits fewer home runs than Nick Kurtz. That's why Nick Kurtz is winning the AL MVP. But what about in the National League? Kyle, why don't you start us off? Who's your NL MVP?
Okay, it's going to be Ohtani, but that's boring and not fun. You know who I'm going to... I saw Matt writing it down.
I almost did, but I stopped.
But, so you know what? I'm going to be fun. You know who I'm going to say? Paul Skeens.
Whoa! I didn't see that
Paul
coming.
Skeens is going to have the best season any pitcher has ever had, and he's going to win the National League MVP.
Okay.
Paul Skeens.
Okay,
And
interesting.
he'll be very boring in his interviews after.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also, Mrs. Livy Dunn. Or Mr. Livy Dunn.
A lot of people
Mr.
are
Livy
predicting
Dunn.
that the Pirates will make the playoffs this year.
Well, I didn't say that.
No, but because of Paul Skeens. I think they're going
By
to
the
say
way,
Skeens has been
great,
so good.
one of the best stadiums in MLB.
Oh, yes, PNC Park.
Incredible park, by
gorgeous.
the way. They just need some winning happening there.
Yeah.
I am actually I am not a Mets fan, except for I love Frankie Lindor. I covered him for years in Cleveland. But I am going to say second season with the Mets, Juan Soto is my guy. They no longer have Pete Alonso there. I know they added Bo Bichette. But I don't know. I have a feeling that Juan might get it done for the Mets in terms of MVP.
Don't let Frankie Cardicelli hear you say that. Not
Oh,
just
he'll
with
hate
the
me.
Mets,
I know.
but with Juan Soto.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
That's a
soft spot
sensitive
for
topic.
Frankie Cardicelli. I'm going to go a bit of a curveball here.
Okay.
Because in order, typically...
I get it. Baseball.
Typically, the MVP is on the team that's making it to the World Series or winning the World Series, so you have to look at the Dodgers. And, of course, everyone goes, Shohei Ohtani. There's a reason why it's not going to be Shohei Ohtani, and I'll explain that later on in our predictions. Mookie Betts is my NL MVP.
Oh, bet on Betts,
I have Mookie Betts having a massive breakout season that's
Wow.
undeniable because, I'll just throw this in there in this now because we'll do A's and Giants record really quickly too. My random prediction is that Shohei Ohtani will win the National League Cy Young Award because he's returning to pitching. So he's going to be the National League Cy Young pitcher, but they're not going to want to give everything to Shohei Ohtani. And Mookie Betts is going to have a really good season, so they'll give Mookie the MVP so Shohei can have the Cy Young. That's my prediction.
I see where you're going. For predictions, can we go over 500?
Anything.
Okay.
It's anything. It's fair.
For the next predictions. Okay.
It can be literally anything. Just call your shot of anything baseball.
Oh, predictions?
Yeah. Do you have your just a random prediction?
I thought you were doing the Giants record.
We'll do that.
Okay.
I misunderstood your question. You're talking about 500 for A's and Giants records?
There's a lot of math that gets involved with the
81 and
record.
81.
81 and 81. Yes. Okay. Let me write down my prediction.
If you say the number of wins, I can do the math.
I just don't know how to do math right now.
You can just say the number of
how many. I'll do the math for the wins.
For the Giants. Here, let me think about this. Somebody else go.
Okay, 81 and 81. Giants, that's what they are every year. Every year.
Oh, okay.
They are every year 81 and 81. That's what they will always be.
Let's see.
Right,
they're either very bad or 81 and 81.
81 81.
What I want the A's to do is 82 and 80 because that would be so infuriating for Giants fans.
I'm going to go 88 wins.
For the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay, so 88 and 74.
Okay.
88 and 74 for the Giants. That's funny because that was what my number was.
Oh, was it?
So I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'll do 86 and 76.
Okay.
I'll do 86 and 76 for the Giants. What about for the A's? Your A's record?
I'm gonna have a little hope for this community, and I'm in it, so I want to see some wins here. Let's go with 90.
This is bonkers.
Did you want to go 92?
Those are my exact numbers. 90 and 88 were my
crazy.
exact numbers. Okay, Kayla goes 90. That's 90 and 72.
Okay.
Yes, 90 and 72. Yes. I will go 92 and 70 for the A's.
Okay.
All right,
I think they're surpassing 90 this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring us back down.
Bring us down.
Crashing down to a halt here. I'm gonna go 78 and what is that?
So just under 500.
84.
Okay.
Yeah.
78 and 84. Okay,
which would be an improvement from last year.
And real quick, I need two quick random predictions for you guys.
And I don't know how exactly to pronounce this. He is in the minor league system for the A's right now. The young Leo DeVries.
Yes.
He is going to make the major league roster at some point this season where he'll be 18 years old.
Okay. So A's, DeVries, call up.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
That's mine.
Okay. I have an A's one, which is that
it could be anything. It's any predictions for anything. It could be whatever you want.
So my actual one is the Reds are going to win the NL Central.
Ooh, okay.
Random run for them. And the A's one, the A's are going to lead the league in home runs this year.
I like that.
I think they're also going to win 78 games, but they will lead the league in home runs.
Score a lot and give up even more, according to Kyle, and that's not a bad prediction.
Their opponents will also hit a ton of home runs at their ballpark.
It's kind of been A's baseball. There you go. Those are our way too early MLB season predictions. And I don't even know what's coming up next because my thing closed. Coming up next is Pick a Side. Duh, you know the segment we do every day, Matt, you idiot. Pick a Side is coming up next. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobblet of Hobblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
If you've been looking for the right hard-to-find Ram heavy duty, Hobblet has it, and at the price that works for you. Right now, save up to $12,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 2500s and 3500s. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, you're going to find what you need at Hobblet.
Heavy duty seem to be a strong point for Hobblet.
Absolutely. We are the only dealer in the area full of truck people. One of the many reasons we are consistently one of the top Ram truck dealers in the nation, and one of the only certified Ram truck centers in the entire country. You won't find a better combination of service and affordability in California.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobbletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hobblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash on select inventory, $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive. exclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go Inc.
Planet Fitness has everything you need, anytime the motivation hits. So you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder, thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
Yes, indeed, it is time to pick a side. And, of course, you can be involved in the debates, the conversation, if you like. 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. If you want to call in, you can text in those numbers as well. You can jump in on the YouTube chat line or just play along in your car. Yell at your radio. Tell us why we're right or wrong. Our boss did that yesterday. Our boss was listening. He was on Team Kayla about the Bryce Harper debate. It says hockey is harder than baseball. Fine, Jim.
Jim played.
Whatever, Jim.
He knows.
See who you prefer. Dang. It is time to pick a side.
Let's
Topic
go.
number one.
Topic number one. The Chicago Bears might be going to Indiana.
Woof.
They approved a public financing package or something or other yesterday to go like basically do the New York Giants thing with Jersey. Just go right across the border because it's a little bit cheaper to build a stadium. Is this a good idea or no?
Look, I think at first I was like, oh my gosh, like Indiana, it's going to be just not thought of well. You're technically not going to be in Chicago. It's on the border. But like Chicago Bears are one of the more historic NFL organizations. And you always think Chicago. But I think when it comes down to it, it's just going to be where their facility is at, where their stadium's at, but they're not going to be not known as the Chicago Bears still.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it matters too much, but it also feels like the NFL has lost the plot a little bit. Like these are supposed to be your team in your city. It's the Chicago Bears.
Sure.
So their team should be playing in Chicago. The San Francisco 49ers, in theory, I know room and stuff, they should be playing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It just feels like we've lost the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that is their city. Have them find space to play in their city. But I know the NFL transcends borders. The NFL transcends cities and markets, and they'll build their fancy schmancy big freaking stadiums wherever they damn well please, and they'll have whatever team they want playing.
And TR in the chat is saying it's a tactic to get taxpayer money to pay for the new stadium.
Yeah.
Which is obviously part of it. But it's not cheap nowadays to build these stadiums.
No.
And it's not easy nowadays to convince, all of these taxpayers to do all of those things.
You need a lot of room for them.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Like, they're not going to rebrand as the Indiana Bears.
Yeah.
But
also, technically, wherever they're moving to is closer to where they are now than Santa Clara to San Francisco.
I want to say it's like 20 minutes south or like 30 minutes south, but it's like on the border.
Yeah, in theory.
So.
The On the Border Bears. That's what they should be called.
On the Border Bears?
The Border Bears.
The Border Bears,
No,
yeah.
like, literally, all these teams are doing now what the Giants and Jets did like 30 years ago when they moved to Jersey, which is basically, we can't get public money from our states, so we're going to negotiate with a state that doesn't have our team and then move it to that one because either A, we can't afford to build a stadium privately in the city, which is kind of the case for the Bears, if you know that ownership group. They can't really afford to build a stadium in Chicago.
Ooh, we got some Bears fans in this chat,
they're
baby.
yelling at me.
They're Bears fans, by the way. I have a ton of Bears fans that are friends.
The Bears.
They're freaking everywhere.
Yeah, they're nuts.
By the way, you know who else is doing this exact same thing? Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
They're going to Kansas.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The NFL, I feel like, has just lost the plot. I get why they're doing it. I get the business beside it, behind it, and as we've talked about at length over the short lifespan of this show, it's business over sport pretty much in every single one of these sports. So I get why it's happening. I'm not naive to it. It just feels like we've lost the plot. Like, every team feels like is now getting further and further away from the city that is their home. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. As long as they put Bears stuff all over it and all the digital boards say Bears, it'll look like the Bears Stadium. So they turned Levi Stadium into a complete neutral site. You had no idea where it was if you didn't know it was Levi Stadium. So
Next question.
That's how you make your money. Next up, would you rather be a driver? I'm guessing this is a car. A driver in a car or a passenger in a car?
All right.
I'm team driver. I always drive.
I'm going to share a story with you.
Oh,
and I don't know if I should have shared this, but it's a good example of why I'm choosing driver. Look, you could argue passenger because you're lazy, you're sick of driving.
Passenger princess.
You want to just sit back. No, I want to be in control of my damn car. Because guess what? I don't trust any of y'all out there driving. And I'm going specifically this morning when I almost died on my way to work right around the corner. I was going through a green light and some big old black Escalade decides to do a U-turn at a full speed. And because I am a good driver who actually watches out for other people and has good instincts, I swerved so fast that I'm not joking, you guys, it missed me by probably an inch. And I am not kidding you. I thought I got hit. Like, that's how close it was. So this is my example. And I actually had this in here last night. So I didn't even have this story done before I actually put it out there. Driver, 120%.
So I'm driver because this never happened until I started driving, because I drive everywhere. I drive.
Yeah.
Like, if my wife and I are going anywhere together, my wife is like, I'm passenger. I'm not driving at all. She's very much passenger princess. Let me look at my phone, kick my feet up. Yep.
Yeah.
I get so car sick now if I'm not driving. And any seat. Usually in the passenger seat, I like the shotgun. I do okay.
Yep.
If you put me in the back of a car, any car, even if it's like an Uber, for more than 5 minutes, I start getting queasy.
Yep.
So that's my reason for it. But yes, having control and being the one to avoid the crash, that part's nice.
I can't believe Drew thought I give passenger princess vibes. Really?
Literally not at all.
I'm like the most control. Like, I'm like the most like control. Like, got it. Like, hard nose.
You know what? Don't. This might sound
That's
insulting.
okay.
This might sound insulting. Don't get mad at me.
Go ahead.
You give backseat driver vibes.
Oh, like telling you what to do.
If you're not driving, you're telling
sure.
me how to drive, which makes me want to crash the car. Because my wife does it too. My wife does it too. She never wants to drive, but boy, will she comment on my driving.
Okay, so this is why exact reason is why I'm fine being a passenger, because I never get road rage. I never get passengers, backseat driver stuff going on. I am the most chill driver in the world. Someone could cut me off. I'm not going to get mad at them. Someone could go through a stoplight in front of me and I don't get mad. It's just like the world. You can't control it. The world is your oyster. So I guess I'm fine being a passenger because I just never get mad when I'm driving.
Interesting.
It's a very strange trait. People have commented like, wow, you like that person just ran in front of you. Aren't you like upset? I'm like, no, just life happens, man.
I do not believe you.
I've never ever had road rage in my life.
No, I do believe you on that.
Young, still plenty of time.
No, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Life just happens, man.
Did we have one more question? We weren't going to get to it.
Well, we're short on time, so real quick. Flag football, will it be a mainstream sport soon?
Well, everything's being more mainstream, but
I think
I'll say no.
after it makes its Olympic debut, I think it could take off.
I think it's very entertaining, but I don't know about mainstream. But yeah.
I'm gonna go hard no. If people aren't getting into this UFL thing, which is actual football, I don't know how deep in the weeds they're gonna get on flag football.
That was Pick a Side. Coming up next is Lunch Break. You want to call in, get involved in this Kings conversation, now's the time to do so. We'll talk about the Kings being ranked dead last in the NBA future of the franchise rankings. Plus, how much, and we tend to live in the past a lot here in Sacramento when it comes to the Kings, but how much is too much living in the past versus learning from the past when it comes to where the Kings are at right now? We will discuss right here on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your #1 source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Stockton Honda, we know how to honor a great deal. Like right now during our President's Day sales event. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, you can find star-spangled savings on some of our best models. Why not stop in today and see for yourself? Come celebrate at Stockton Honda and get huge savings on our giant selection. Plus top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Lunch break on a Friday. That means we're very close. The weekend's almost here. And it was even a short week, too.
I know, but it felt longer. Sometimes the short weeks actually feel longer for some reason. or you get mixed up on like what day you did what. Maybe that's what it is.
That's a very big thing.
Well, some of us, their weekends are starting because of the shortened week. I'm coming in tomorrow to do all of our Saturday programming on the station.
Oh.
So today's like a Thursday for me.
As in the AM, the early morning
Oh,
stuff?
yes.
Our old friends Sepp and Kent
Sepp
Brown.
and Kent.
Hell yeah.
Card show, travel guys,
Yeah.
great content. I love them, but it just means today's not a Friday for me.
No, it's not.
Well, sorry.
No, it's not.
Sorry, man.
I enjoy getting to do it with them, but not everyone gets 4-day weeks, you know?
Yeah.
Now is the time for you to be a part of the show. Of course, we're talking a lot of Sacramento Kings basketball today, the frustrations of the historic 15 straight losses for the Kings, and not necessarily the fact that they reached 15, but how they reached it, with how bad last night's 37-point loss last night. Goodness gracious. If you want to call in and talk about that, the phone lines are open for you. 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. And perhaps you will want to respond to this. This is the NBA Future of the Franchise rankings put out by the Silver Bulletin. And I've actually seen these before. I actually enjoy these. These are great reads. Ranking, as you can guess, all 30 franchises into who has the brightest future. Well, you never guess where the Sacramento Kings ended up.
Oh, God.
Dead
30th?
last.
Yeah.
Good old number 30.
There it is. Getting used to that number.
Here's the explanation. The Kings remain a laughingstock. They've appeared in the playoffs once in 20 years. This year's annual attempt to make that postseason landed so short that they essentially fell backwards into doing what it takes to get better, losing for a better draft pick. In fact, the Kings have the NBA's worst record and best lottery odds. I'd give them more credit if this were planned, but it's basically a function of two things: a lousy roster and an injury to Domantas Sabonis. Given the owner's rather ham-handed use of analytics and questionable decisions about who to put in power, the Kings will probably continue down the path of NBA irrelevancy. That was from Jeremias. Now, Joseph, who's another writer, commentator
from the
in
Jays.
The other Jay, Joseph, says, I'm slightly more optimistic on the Kings than consensus. Yes, they're the worst team in the NBA, but that's precisely the point. As long as they keep tanking, the floor is the 5th pick. And this draft isn't the big 3 that mainstream outlets keep pushing. It's more like a big 5. The drop-off or unexpected value doesn't hit until pick 6 or 7, which means Sacramento is in line for a great prospect regardless of lottery luck. That alone should put them ahead of New Orleans, who doesn't even own their pick, and Chicago, who seems hell-bent on stacking guards and making the play-in tournament every year. So,
well,
Kayla,
who was the second one?
That was Joseph.
What's he smoking?
No. Joseph was the good vibes.
But Joseph doesn't get the full picture that one draft pick this year ain't changing the whole trajectory of this organization.
Hey, let me tell you, if Matt George is walking in to this show the day after the NBA draft and AJ DeBonsa is a Sacramento King, I'm walking in like there's a parade about to happen.
I'm kind of joking. I'm half joking.
But you're also right.
But I'm also like, you got to have a little bit of an optimist, that's going to have better things to say. And he is right. There's something to be excited about when it comes to this draft. Mm-hmm. None of that. I didn't disagree with any of that.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, that's the start. Like, that's one of the starts to what eventually can become a team that's not in the gutter, in the cellar, whatever you want to call it.
Hell.
But what's his name again?
Joseph.
But Joseph, there's a long way to go, Bubby. There's a long way to go.
Be nice to Joseph. He's nice to us. What's funny is on these rankings, right? They put the team in the place that they're at currently, and then they put whether they're trending up, trending down, or just flatline.
Flatline.
Where do you think the Kings are?
Down.
No, they're in last and they're flatlined. Which means they're here and they're they just suck.
They're just like not being resuscitated currently.
They've been there.
I think what Jeremias is getting at, who's the less positive, is how a lot of Kings fans feel. It doesn't really matter what happens, because as long as we continue to make the same mistakes, and I'm using the royal we to talk about the decision makers in the organization, as long as we continue to make the same mistakes, why should we expect it's going to get any different? And that's kind of Jeremiah's take. Yeah, the Kings might end up with the number 1 overall pick. Why should we expect they're going to get that pick right? They'll draft Darren Peterson, and he'll just refuse to play. Or they'll draft A.J. DeBonsa, and Darren Peterson becomes a star, and it should have been Darren Peterson. Or, you idiots, Cam Boozer is right there.
Right.
Or it's going to end up being Kingston Flemings is the best of this draft. Or you didn't draft Caleb Wilson because his hand. Or what, like, there's always the fear of whatever pick the Kings will make is the wrong pick.
One.
And even if it's the right pick, they'll find a way to mess it up because it's the Kings, right? And while that reputation does annoy me because it's low-hanging fruit, and it oftentimes abandons logic for, well, it's the Kings and it's going to happen, and it's been proven right. That reputation is deserved, owned by this organization who hasn't proven that they can execute a rebuild correctly. So most people, when it comes to the Kings with anything, is I'll believe it when I see it, even with a top draft pick.
It's a really good point, because I do seem to always be the type of person that I do get annoyed when you are put in a category and it's just low-hanging fruit and people keep on punching it. You know, like, I get annoyed with that type of stuff. But on the other hand, I think about situations where you've kind of put yourself in that position and you have been given opportunities to find a way out, and you keep on making the same mistakes, and you're not getting out of that position.
Yep.
It's like when I was younger and I kept on making the same mistakes and kept on getting grounded and kept on feeling sorry for myself because I was grounded for a week. And then I'm like, but then I'd go do it again.
Yeah.
And
you
it's like, Kayla, what are you learning? And
at
some point I did learn, and I wasn't grounded anymore. But it's like, until you learn, like, I'm sorry, quit feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah, you got to learn at some point. And I think the feeling, at least with me, when looking at this organization, is it's never been this bad. If you can't learn from this and how we very clearly, obviously got here, like Alan Stiles, who's coming up with Whitey Gleason on the Drive Guys, coming up next.
You mean Larry?
Larry, sorry.
Stiles.
Apparently someone calls him Larry.
Right.
Whitey Gleason is spot on. Spot on.
Whitey Gleason is typically spot on. But Alan put something out on social media today that I thought was interesting. It got me to think, because he talked about, like, if I could give truth serum to people in the organization, and they could talk and then ask them about, like, what they regret.
Dangerous.
About how we've gotten here, because it could be studied, the fall from grace for the Sacramento Kings from being the best story in the league, and finally they're out of the dark abyss of basketball irrelevancy for one season to now falling to even further down than they've ever been before. Pretty crazy, given all things. Like, they could really, you could write a book about it, and someone probably will. I don't know if it would make anybody feel better. Truthfully, I don't know if it would make anybody feel better to hear Vivek or Monty McNair or Doug Christie or Mike Brown or anybody drink some truth serum and spill their guts and their guilt to the world.
Their what?
Spill their guts and their guilt to the world. Like, just here I am on full display to take all ownership.
Intestines coming out.
To everything. Yeah. Just everything that's wrong, it's I take responsibility for it. I don't think that would make anybody feel better at all. But some people would like to hear that. That being said, I would hope that truth serum is not needed for Vivek Ranadive to look to the sudden firing of Mike Brown and the trading of De'Aaron Fox and rushing that trade and allowing Rich Paul and De'Aaron Fox to dictate that trade for you, and also being willing to take on a contract in Zach LaVine's contract that nobody else in the league wanted. I would hope that Vivek could look into the mirror without truth serum and go, I shouldn't have done that. I can't do that mistake again. I need to learn from that. I would hope Doug Christie has had that moment 2 or 3 times over the course of this season. I would hope Scott Perry has had that moment about some of the offseason decisions that he's made. Because the reality is everybody owns some sort of the blame. So if you can't learn from where the Kings are at right now, then you're never going to learn.
Yeah, and I'm interested because you had just kind of mentioned Vivek and looking himself in the mirror, and maybe this is, and again, I understand if you're not on board with this because it's happened time and time again. Why should you be on board with this if you're a Sacramento Kings fan? But it seems to be that maybe this is the point where Vivek did look himself in the mirror and did say, hey, Scott Perry, I'm going to let you do your thing.
Yes.
I'm going to let you do it the way you want. I'm going to let you do, if it is in fact a rebuild, which Scott Perry has not said. Let me just put that on record. He has not said that, but that is what it seems to be. At some point it will be that, even though you have some veteran contracts currently still there and you can't fully do it until those are out. I would hope then eventually fans can come back around and say, okay, maybe Vivek didn't come out and admit all this stuff, because let me tell you something, owner ain't never going to do that. While I think it would heal some people just to admit it, I don't know how that would solve many problems. You got to just have it done by actions.
Yeah.
And I think if he truly did do that and allows Scott to do his job, we could have another conversation that's finally different 3 years, 4 years down the road.
Yeah. This is a incredibly optimistic spin on where the Sacramento Kings are at right now. Coming from someone who used to be known as the blind optimist here in Sacramento that has taken a jump off the diving board into the
Did you hit your head?
No, Mike Brown was fired, and I jumped into the sea of despair with this organization. Truly since that day. Truly since the day Mike Brown was fired, it was like my villain arc began. That day, almost everything about this organization has disgusted me, and unfortunately I've been right about almost everything
that's your Joker origin story?
That is my Joker origin story. Mike Brown got fired, and that's how I got these scars.
Yeah.
But allow me to put a very optimistic spin on this situation that I don't expect to make anybody else feel better. And if you roll your eyes at this, I don't even blame you for this. There is a chance that the Sacramento Kings right now are at the lowest point of the best case scenario. And what I mean by that is Vivek tried to do it his way completely. Vivek has always had, ownership has always had a little bit of too much. Their hand has been in the cookie jar a little bit too much in his entire tenure.
Or there's been too many people in the cook's kitchen.
Correct. Too many chefs in the kitchen. Yeah. Yes. There have always been elements of this through the now decade plus that Vivek has been here. And that's always resulted in little failures, little things.
Yeah.
What from the Mike Brown decision to the Fox trade to the Levine decision, everything that happened last year is the worst that Vivek and this ownership group has ever done, and they have to wear it. However, we talk about necessary evils, right? Where's the best case scenario in this? You hired Scott Perry. Scott's made his own mistakes here and there, but made these mistakes in an effort to, I think, correct the problem that ownership created. This season is playing out the owner's vision. That's what this season is. The owner's vision is playing out in real time, and it's turned out to be the worst team in franchise history. If ownership cannot learn from what is happening right now, then they'll never learn, period. But hopefully, because I know there are brilliant people in that organization. Whether you like them or not, they are brilliant people, and they're also good people. There are some good people with good intentions, of course, in this organization as well that are involved in this, who just want to win, who simply just want to win.
Sure,
and I
everyone
get that.
wants to win.
Right.
Right?
Hell is paved, the path to hell, road to hell is paved by good intentions, right? They are now seeing in real time, I made this move. I made this decision. I pushed for this path, this short term, we got to make the playoffs via the plan by any means necessary, and it is blown up in my face. I made that choice. This season has to play out in order for me to, one, fully understand the repercussions of that short-sighted move, but it may produce flowers. It may produce fruit in the form of a top draft pick that gets you that star to save you from yourself.
Yeah.
That is a very optimistic spin.
Yeah. So no. I get what you're saying. So my question to you is, do you truly think that when Scott Perry was hired by Vivek, that Scott was presented like, hey, we're gonna try this one more time with this, like, let's add Schroeder. Let's try one more time to see if we can be a play. And then if it doesn't go right, Scott, I'm going to let you do your thing. Do you think there was like initial conversation, or do you think it's just something where he kind of brought in Perry, thought, oh, Perry will go along with this, and if it doesn't work, maybe we'll just continue to, like, are we sure this has been a conversation where then Scott is truly then going to be given the opportunity to blow this what up?
I've had the pleasure of having conversations with Scott off the record.
Yeah.
Meeting him, getting to know him off the
Sure.
record. One of the things I asked Scott, and I won't reveal his answers directly because it's off the record, but one of the things I asked Scott directly is, why are you taking this job?
Okay.
Like, why are you taking this job? He doesn't have to. It's one of 30 NBA jobs, regardless of how bad the Kings are. Let's put it this way. Scott is very aware of the situation that he took over. I think it's been made pretty clear, too, from Scott's comments publicly in different press conferences and different interviews on this station, that Scott made sure to get assurances that this was going to take time and that he was going to be the one with full autonomy and full decision-making power. So to answer your question, Kayla, I think the answer is Scott had no choice with the roster that he inherited when he took this job than to try and make the most out of these next 2 seasons because he saw what we all saw, which is I've got these contracts that I'm going to try as hard as I possibly can to get rid of, but I probably won't be able to. So as long as they're still here, maybe I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and try and make the playoffs via the play-in, try and take advantage of these next 2 years while these contracts run out, try and get Doug Christie to develop as a head coach and get some of that experience under his belt as a winning head coach or a playoff head coach, while getting Nick Clifford and Maxim Reno maybe a little bit of experience being a role player on a playoff or play-in team. Maybe I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone that way. But I have no choice with this roster that you've handed me than to go that route. And I think the Dennis Schroeder move and the Russell Westbrook signing are very clear indications of that the Kings were, people, I expected this team to be bad. You did not expect this team to lose 15 straight games and have 12 wins at this point in the season. You did not. Nobody did, because we thought this team was going to be competing for the play-in. That doesn't mean we were excited about it, but we thought that was the route that they were going to be in, which, again, is arguably worse than where they're at right now in terms of the long-term vision. Perry has now pivoted because the Kings obviously have no choice but to pivot because things have gone so terribly wrong. So I think that I hope that answers your question, at least from what I understand it to be.
It does. And I think now it's just like this is where you're going to be able to, you're not going to be able to, you're going to have to sit back as a fan, as uncomfortable and as awful and horrendous as it is, and you're going to have to give not only Scott a chance, but you're going to have to give Vivek a chance to prove that maybe he has completely given the keys to the car to Scott Perry.
Yes.
There's going to have to be some trust involved. And I know that is painful to hear.
Yes, exactly.
But you have to.
Exactly. What the organization is asking from their fans is faith and patience. And for them to ask that of this fan base is insane.
Yep.
But it's the reality of where we're at. And I don't blame a single Kings fan, whether you've been in the trenches for the 40-plus years that they've been here, or you started watching with the Beam team and all you know was the joy of the beginning and now the avalanche since. Whatever level of fandom you are as a Sacramento Kings fan, I do not blame you one bit for saying, I cannot give you that. You have not earned that.
But where are you putting yourself then in this whole thing as a fan?
You're
purgatory.
Bingo. You have to either give that faith and trust reluctantly or happily or whatever you need to do to be able to give it to this organization, or you need to divorce yourself in a sense where
go down to the courts.
You can see, you can follow, you can watch, but you don't feel anything.
Or you don't watch.
Or you don't watch.
Don't participate
Or
until
you
they're good
abandon.
again.
Yeah.
Or you
and that's
again,
your right to do.
100%. if you tune out for a little while, they have my time is meaningful, plus the amount of money it costs just to attend one of your games. I'm going to do something else with my time. That does not make you a worse fan. And let me tell you, it does not make you a bandwagoner if you come back 4 years from now when the Kings are finally good and I'm buying tickets. I'm going to be a season ticket holder again. One, your prices will be hiked back up. But two,
that's the disadvantage.
That doesn't make you a bandwagon fan.
No, I don't think so either. Not from what this fan base has gone through.
If you're checked out, there's one thing Kings fans can never be accused of, and that's being disloyal. Yeah. But we can only go so far.
I mean, we can't blame a bear for going into hibernation.
Right.
Go into hibernation for a minute.
If you need to take a nap, and a long nap.
Set the alarm for 4 years.
Get the snooze button ready. Well, if you need to take a nap during the NBA season for the next few years until this organization wakes you up, I don't blame you one bit for that. But if you're going to be, and I'm talking to myself here too, Matt, if you're going to be doing this job and in here for the long haul and here piece by piece, which you have to be because you're being paid, bozo, you have to give the faith and the patience that is required for Perry to do this right. And it's gross to even have to acknowledge that. But it's where we're at.
Well, I think the other part too is like, obviously, this is hugely emotional for so many people, and people get their hearts into the sports in general, but specifically with this team and wanting to see it succeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if we like strip away all that nuance, like these are transactional relationships. You give the organization money, you get an experience, or you get a piece of merchandise, or whatever it is. Like you don't have to give that transaction if you don't feel like you're getting enough out of the transaction. That whether the team is good or whether the team is bad, like that's a transactional relationship that you don't have to keep enduring if you're a fan.
From the someone from the 916, without any words, no context, but I know exactly what they're saying. Just posted the GIF of Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown, who misses the kickoff. And I understand exactly what they're saying. No words necessary.
For sure. I'm sure you could use lots of gifts to express fandom right now in Sacramento.
From the 916, Guts and Guilt would be the name of the King's book. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Was you talking about spilling your guts?
Spilling your guts.
Sure.
That's
guts and guilt. I like
that's the terminology. Spill your guts. Like you profess your guilt to the world. You're spilling your secrets. Again, I'm sure Al. I'm actually really interested. Maybe I'll ask during crosstalk as long as I don't spoil.
Did they have that conversation yesterday?
No, Alan said it on. He tweeted it out today. And I thought that's a really interesting segment for the radio that I would steal if I wasn't Alan's friend.
And you didn't steal it.
I didn't steal, but I acknowledge it. I gave you credit, Alan.
Well, no, there's still time. I mean, we can.
Listening. But the point is that there's a lot of soul searching that needs to happen from everybody in and around this organization right now. Yours truly included, who's been in here for the long haul. Like soul searching, can I handle what it's going to take? And is Scott Perry the right person for the cleanup? Does he have the right tools to clean this up the right way? Does ownership have the right patience, and are they humble enough to acknowledge that their over-involvement is what got them here, and getting over-involved is counterproductive to where they want to get?
I think that's the bigger question, and I could be wrong. Who do you have more faith in? I think more people would say Scott Perry if they they could give their grace to someone.
Yep.
Because he is new here, and he has a background in doing this. Where I think sometimes it's easy to say, because it's happened time and time again under different people, the top is the one you don't trust.
I would say, I don't want to speak for all Kings fans. I think there is a large portion of this Kings fan base that has faith in nobody and no part of this organization. And they're hoping the person that they are going to put their faith in is walking across that stage in a Kings draft hat on draft night.
Gotta have faith, the faith. Ooh, gotta have faith.
That's where I think the draft is for a lot of Kings fans.
That should be your guys' theme song for the until things turn back around. George Michael.
What song is that? I was born this century.
Oh, look it up, and can we play it coming into our next break? Faith by George Michael.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
It's a good song.
And I think people need to hear it right now.
But the point is, like, a lot of the fan base is desperate to put their faith in somebody. They don't think Scott Perry has earned it, or they're concerned based off of how this season started. They don't trust ownership. They don't know if Doug's a good coach or not, and whether or not he deserved to be in the seat that he's in.
Or if any of these players are good.
Or any of these players, like, there's genuinely, like, top to bottom with this organization, it's hard to find anything to put your faith in right now as a Kings fan. So that means the young man that walks across that stage on draft night that the Kings select is going to take on a lot of that weight. Can that young man handle that too? That's going to be another question.
I don't know if it's Darren Peterson. Sorry.
Man, you ain't kidding.
I had to. I got to get my jab in there.
But it's not just a jab if it's true.
I know. We
will take the break. When we come back, switching gears from the pain of a Kings fan to a pain of the Raiders, the Max Crosby saga. It's always interesting. Are the 49ers interested in Max Crosby? Well, other teams seem to be interested as well, and there are some offers being floated out there, fake trades, fake potential offers from different media members about what the the Raiders could potentially get in a Max Crosby trade. We'll run through those and whether or not we would take those deals or not for Max Crosby. That's coming up next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the Subaru A Lot to Love event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for big President's Day savings
on over 220 new and certified pre-owned Subarus.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRV, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
ever come up?
No.
We created a list of all the different types of Kings fans, and there's definitely Kings fans that are probably like optimistic all the way through and through. That definitely exists right now.
I need y'all in my life. Help me.
Anyways,
help me see the vision.
Spark notes before we go to Max Crosby. The list is realistic, optimistic, pessimistic, unrealistic, blissful, delusional, self-loathing, nihilistic, anarchist, apathetic, quote, I've been a Kings fan for 40 years, end quote. Down bad, nostalgic for 2002, just happy to be here, just happy they aren't in Seattle, just send them to Seattle already. Skeptically hopeful, dead inside, we're winning 40 games this year, guy. Doom and gloom, get rid of the beam, De'Aaron Fox was right, complains but doesn't know what they actually want to do, sell the team, masochist, and that local guy, Drew.
All right.
Really quick, I like the last category. I don't want to derail this entire segment, but I saw this, and I just want to say this really quick. Bill Self on Darren Peterson. This is 39 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
He hasn't finished games. The bottom line is there's a way to change that narrative. Play, finish. That's the way to get people to quit talking.
There you go. Plain and simple, Bill. Thanks for joining the club.
Hey.
I mean, what has Bill Self ever done? Am I right?
Coach is saying it.
Hall of Fame
Probably
coach.
should do
What
it.
does he know?
Says something to me.
Woof.
This Max Crosby saga, I feel like, is going to give us plenty of life during this NFL offseason. And as a wounded Raider fan, I expect it to just go wrong for the Kings in some capacity. However, he does seem to have a tremendous amount of value if indeed Max Crosby's time with the Silver and Black is over. I know there is some hope that it isn't, that they can figure something out. But there's also, hey, will you potentially get an offer that you cannot refuse? Well, we just talked to Nick Wagner at 11 o'clock about the San Francisco 49ers offseason, and one of the things Nick talked a lot about is how this team is very much looking for that next crop of stars. So they're looking more young necessarily than they're looking for the biggest names available. That being said, with the division that they're in, and if there's a player of the talent of Max Crosby available that you could put potentially next to Nick Bosa, talk about immediately sending your defense right back into a whole nother level. However, on NBC Sports, the great Matt Mayoko wrote an article talking about the potential for this move. And very similar to what Nick said, the focus in his mind for the Niners should be on adding young talent and using their draft picks to add that young talent and look for that next crop of stars rather than using those draft picks to go out and get a older but currently more win-now established talent in Max Crosby. So I'm not saying take the 49ers out of the conversation necessarily, Kayla, for Max, but I have a feeling if the Raiders are trading Max, it's probably because they feel they're going to get not just good draft compensation, they're probably looking for another first rounder, maybe even in this year's draft.
Yeah, I don't like it. Just to be blunt, I it's not that I don't like Max Crosby. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he could fit in some organizations that can actually be okay with adding a little bit more of an older player. And look, he's still 28, but he is getting closer to that 30 range, right? And I do think it's one of those things that if the Niners are preaching they want to get younger, they want to add more of a youth movement in San Francisco, I don't know if this actually works because you're going to have to give up picks, and you're going to have to not only probably give up one first rounder this year, and they do pick at 27, so it's not a high first rounder, but you're going to probably have to give up at least another one. And I think right now, if the focus is truly on building from the youth side of things, you don't go in and probably do this and give up picks because you do need those picks. And again, we heard Nick Wagner say it, and I completely agree with you. Like, you've got to go get a wide receiver in the draft, no matter what.
Yeah. The Raiders would love to create a bidding war between teams there's a lot of teams that could use a Max Crosby, let me tell you.
Oh, and they'll do that. They'll create a bidding war.
They would love to. But my question to you is how much hardball should the Raiders play when it comes to Max, especially knowing that there is the whether it is a full disconnect or not, there is an awkwardness, there is a tension between Crosby and the Raiders organization right now that if you play too hardball and you don't get what you're looking for, you don't get your asking price met right now, and you roll into next season with this potential Max Crosby distraction, and I don't like that term because it makes it sound like it's Max's fault. That's not what I mean. But this could be a distraction to a first-year or first-time head coach and a new rookie number 1 overall pick quarterback, and they're trying to build something there. And if this is lingering, it just could be a distraction, right? And that may ultimately negatively impact Max Crosby's value down the line. So I just wonder how Max is undeniably talented. How much hardball should the Raiders play in this offseason to extract maximum possible value for him?
Yeah, I mean, you have to play like it's a business when it all comes down to it. Right. And look, it might not end exactly the way that they would have liked it to end with Max Crosby, but when it all comes down to it, they drafted him. He will always have a love for the organization, but they do need to get the most out of it. Like they do need to get what they feel is a significant amount of picks or a high pick back for him. To know that they're getting the most out of a really hot commodity right now. I mean, we are hearing him linked to a ton of teams. And so it's out there that he is liked and he is wanted. So you have to play to the highest level hardball to get the most out of it. And I don't think that hurts you.
Well, Kayla, there are a lot of hypothetical offers that are starting out there, and if there's anything we love here on sports radio, it's hypothetical trade scenarios.
Hey, we love them, man. We like to play this game, right? So let's play the game of would you do the trade for Max Crosby. So these are 4 NFL analysts that work for ESPN. They have made their picks on what the trade should be for Max Crosby.
Okay.
So let's go through them and just, say would we do it or not. So Jeremy Fowler, the great Jeremy Fowler, great at what he does there at ESPN, he is proposing this trade. The Raiders get wide receiver DJ Moore, who is currently with the Chicago Bears. And a 2026 first-round pick, which is 25th overall, a 2027 third-round pick, and the Bears would get Max Crosby. Would you do that trade?
Well, DJ Moore is not a bad receiver by any means, and the Raiders need more of a receiving core, that's for sure. So I don't hate DJ Moore as a receiver, that's for sure. Maybe I'm being too greedy, but the number 25 overall pick, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think you could get better. So I would not accept this right away. I would use this as a baseline for other teams of going, you need to beat 25 minimum for us to talk here. I like a third-round pick in addition to that, just to have a little extra sweetener on top.
But the first round it's not the best.
Yeah, I would push for a higher pick, so I would be interested in this, but I would at the moment say no.
Yeah, I don't think DJ Moore at this part of his career is like a complete game changer, and I don't think he's a long-term answer to what you will need with the Raiders in that wide receiver core, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on that trade. Dan Graziano, here is his offer. The Raiders would get wide receiver George Pickens, a 2026 first-round pick, which is 20th overall. The Cowboys would get Crosby and a 2026 second-round pick, which is 36th overall.
Well, the idea of Max Crosby wearing a Cowboys jersey makes me gross. It just makes
Yeah,
not a fan.
Yeah.
George Pickens in the DJ Moore category of just an okay, solid wide receiver. Fernando Mendoza needs somebody to throw to. Number 20 overall. Now we're getting somewhere. I think I would very strongly consider this offer. I do think you could probably get a little bit better in terms of draft compensation immediately this year. Not that much better. Like, I'm not expecting top 10 or anything like that. But I mean, I'd certainly accept this offer more than I would accept the Bears offer. It's a good offer.
Yeah, it's a good offer. And compared to the next two I'll quickly go through, I think this is the one I'd take. So we'll go back to it. I don't love George Pickens in terms of some things I've heard about him off the field and his divaness. But if he can get it done for Fernando Mendoza, I'm willing to do it. Okay, Ben Solak's offer. Raiders get wide receiver Chris Godwin Jr., a 2026 first-round pick, 15th overall, a 2027 second round pick, and the Bucks would get Crosby and a 2027 fifth round pick. That's not bad.
Where do I sign?
But Godwin is a little older. He's been injured.
Cooked.
But it's the pick. It's that 2026 first round pick that would be somewhat valuable.
You're getting the 15th overall pick in addition to the number 1 overall pick. I don't expect you could get realistically higher than 15th overall. Like, this is getting close to max value in terms of immediate draft picks that you're cashing in on this year. Godwin Jr., yes, his best days are behind him, but at least he's a veteran wide receiver to work with Mendoza.
Okay.
I would, and then you get a second round pick in addition to that next season, and you're only giving up your 5th round pick in 2027. I would do this deal if I were the Raiders.
Okay. And then the last one, Seth Walder. His offer is the Raiders would get a 2026 second round pick, a 2026 6th round pick, and a 2027 5th round pick for Crosby. Walder, what you smoking?
Hell no.
Why would you even put that out as a deal?
Not just that deal, but
that's
to the Chargers.
Disgusting.
Hell no.
No, I would never do that, Seth Walder. And
Nope.
I think Dan Graziano, I think I'm going with your offer. As much as I don't love George Pickens, I think he is very, very good. And I think he kind of would fit being a Raider.
You think Pickens is better than 5 draft spots, essentially? 5 draft picks?
Yeah.
Okay. Either of those offers, I like the 15th overall just to have another crack at as top of a pick as possible and just see what's available at that board.
Yeah.
So I prefer, personally, the Buccaneers offer, but I would not hate, other than seeing Max Crosby in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, I would not hate that Dallas offer at all.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
I like these offers except for Seth. Take a lap.
Seth, bro.
Take a walk.
Seriously. Did he miss a piece? I'm still confused on that.
Take a walk,
Wow.
Seth. When we come back, it's time for Kayla's Olympic Minute. And once again, there's a pretty big hockey game happening right this very minute. Kayla will catch us up on what's going on for Team USA in the world of Olympics. I think she's got some exciting, fun things to tell us today. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/small business.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their Midweek Madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, Kayla Anderson, give me good news.
Yeah.
Give me good news today. I need it.
What I'm here for.
I need it.
Okay.
It's time for Kayla's Olympic Minute. How's Team USA faring?
Let's go. Let's go to the ice real quick.
To the ice.
Let's give you oh my goodness, and we just had a score. Why does this keep happening to us?
We are the best.
Right? Every time that we come on air when we're talking hockey this week, there's literally a goal that happens.
Woo.
And that is just what happened right now. It's the semifinals of men's hockey, and Team USA just scored. Currently, they are up 2-0.
Yeah, good job, Thompson.
Yes, they are up 2-0 on Slovakia. Woo! So, again, if they win this, they are going to the gold medal game.
Against guess who?
Hell yeah.
Canada!
The boy Macklin Celebrini.
Yes. I cannot wait if this happens. I'm not going to say it's going to happen yet. I don't want to jinx anybody. Canada did win earlier today, 3-2 over Finland. So they are in the gold medal game. So if the U.S. can keep this lead, they're only in the first period, but it is 2-0 over Slovakia.
Matt's loyalties are going to be tested.
Macklin versus the red, white, and blue.
I'm a little worried.
You can't lose.
I'm a little worried that you want Canada in this one.
I don't. I just want Macklin.
Well, if he wants to root for Canada, let him root for Canada.
No,
that's
Kyle,
not what I
no.
said. I said I want Team USA to win gold, but I want my boy Macklin to get a hat trick.
You know what, Kayla? If he wants to root for Canada, let's stripe Matt George in the red and white, the maple leaf.
I have never once said I'm rooting for Canada. I just love my boy Macklin.
Well, that could be an opportunity to get not only another medal, but it will be an opportunity to perhaps get another gold medal. But who did get a gold medal last night?
Who?
Man, y'all, give it up. In women's figure skating singles for Oakland's own Alyssa Liu, baby.
She really from Oakland, though.
Brings home gold. I love her. She is literally true and through a Bay Area representative. And to take home gold in that event, the two others that took home medals were Japanese figure skaters, which are so good at that event. And so this is a huge feat by Alyssa.
Alyssa!
And she really does represent not only the United States, but the Bay Area proud.
Yeah, there was a picture that went viral of someone. She was doing the classic kind of the Bay Area, just the Bay Area snarl with the swagger and holding the gold medal up. I was like, oh, she's authentic. She's
authentic, and that's a great way to describe her, because when you think of figure skating, and I kind of grew up around it, I had some friends that did it. There's a prototype, right? Like you look at certain figure skaters, how they look and the makeup they wear. And Alyssa's like, I'm doing things my way. She does the hairstyles. She has she does the gems on her teeth. Like, she's awesome. And so I love the fact that like these judges just let her be her, and that's why she won. It's because she's so good and authentic.
She's a damn good skater, too.
Okay. I think
she got us the gold.
Fun.
Yeah, she's really fun. I think Matt's going to be happy about this one, you guys. Because we've been kind of dissing on Team USA. Why can't they do more in snowboarding? Like once Shaun White ruled the snowboarding world, this doesn't seem like USA has been that great this year. But let's give it up. Let's give it up. In the men's halfpipe, which was one of Shaun's really good events, men's halfpipe gold goes to USA's Alex Ferreira.
We are coming
Here we
in
go, baby.
clutch with the golds
That is
late.
right.
That's what I told you was going to happen. The red, white, and blue, we come in clutch late.
Yep, and that is what is happening because we are slowly creeping up in terms of the medal count.
Netherlands.
Now, we've got a lot of ground to make up in terms of finding Norway. But
I say Netherlands, Norway.
there's hope. Norway with 37 medals right now. 17 gold for them. United States has passed Italy, the home country.
Take that.
28 medals for the U.S. They've got 10 gold, and Italy 2 back of the U.S. with 26.
Okay.
So gaining
Number 2.
ground. I don't know if we're going to pass Norway, but we've turned on some steam.
We're on your heels.
Yeah.
Well, you know why we're not going to pass Norway? Because of our old friend Sturla, who we talked about last week.
I am over Sturla,
So,
by the way.
I have one final update on Sturla. Not about him cheating on his girlfriend or anything like that, but you know how I'm complaining about biathlon has so many events? Sturla medaled in every single event he participated in during the Olympics. 5 individual events, 3 silver and 2 bronze. He medaled in literally every event.
How does he get rewarded for his behavior during this whole thing?
If that can't get you the girl, nothing will.
And that's maybe what he was trying to do, get the girl back
She
by
can go,
winning.
well, none of them were gold, so take that.
There it is.
I wanted gold. I don't like silver.
There it is,
But
Matt.
literally, like, at the end of the Olympics, the U.S. might be down like 3 or 4 medals from Norway. And the reason why is literally going to be this guy.
Well.
Yep. So.
Sorry, bud.
You know what? I think I'm pretty proud of the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
I think that we've kind of steamrolled a little bit here.
Got another gold coming with the men's hockey team.
Well, not if Macklin has anything to say about it.
Hey, I told you, Macklin Celebrini's going to get a hat trick in the final game, and the USA's going to win 4-3.
I will say this, though. I think it's cool that it's great to have hockey back. And I really do think it puts the sport on the map a little bit in terms of even coming back to the NHL season and be like, oh, I remember Macklin in the Olympics, or I remember, so-and-so in the Olympics. I'm going to watch a little bit more. Like, I think it's good for the game for it to be back in the Olympics. And again, the women can speak for themselves. They're gold medal winners. But their league is growing too professionally. So that's my Olympic minute, though.
Kayla's Olympic minute. It's getting more and more positive, and it's giving us more and more life right now. I need hockey season to return. Of course, baseball season right around the corner, and the Olympics giving us a good show.
I think we only have one more after this.
Man, I'm sad.
I think Monday's the last Olympic minute.
Last Olympic minute on Monday, when Kayla will tell us after an incredible weekend from Team USA that they have caught up and are number 1 in medal count. Book it. What the gold medal game would be Saturday?
I think Sunday morning.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Like Sunday
Yep.
at 12 p.m. or something.
I can't. It's weird because you're saying tomorrow, and then I'm thinking in Italy time.
Right,
Italy
time.
Been very confusing.
Hey,
it's like Sunday night in Italy or Sunday midday in Italy, which is like 8 a.m. our time or something.
I know what I'm doing Sunday morning. Macklin versus the boys in red, white, and blue. Assuming they get past. What are they playing around? Serbia? Slovakia.
Campio just made a great joke on the chat. Does Canada know Matt is an A's, Kings, and Raiders fan? He's going to be rooting for Canada.
I didn't say I'm rooting for Canada. Y'all are putting words in my mouth. I'm rooting for USA, but I love my boy Macklin Celebrini. He's the GOAT, the young GOAT. And I miss San Jose Sharks hockey, especially running parallel with this Kings season. Well, we'll get back to basketball, but not so much about the Sacramento Kings. Right when our show ended yesterday, we got a little bit of a shams bomb about Adam Silver informing all 30 general managers that new tanking rules are coming. And then Shams shared all the things that are being discussed. We'll go through each one of these potential tanking remedies. Some we like, some we don't like. Will they work? Will they not? We'll run through the list and discuss it as we start the final hour of the show here. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When the final buzzer sounds, the action keeps going with the Sactown Sports Live events calendar. March 15th, rock legends Jefferson Starship take the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento, bringing decades of classic hits and high-energy performance. Then, March 20th through the 22nd, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live storms into the Cal Expo grandstands with massive trucks, big air, and edge-of-your-seat thrills the whole family will love. April 18th, international comedy star Russell Peters delivers a night of sharp, non-stop laughs at Thunder Valley. On May 1st, the iconic James Taylor performs live at Tahoe Blue Event Center for an evening of timeless songs and unforgettable moments. Friday, June 12th, country star Keith Urban brings his electrifying live show to the Nugget Event Center in Reno. And on August 16th, Kane Brown takes over Ironstone Amphitheater in Murphys for a summer night packed with chart-topping country hits, concerts, comedy, and can't miss live entertainment. Find your next big event now on the Sactown Sports Live events calendar.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sports Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and 0 security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the lease you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-718-4040. That's 800-718-4040. 800-718-4040.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Comes out. Hell can get worse.
Why? I keep forgetting about this stupid song that plays every
Yes, I
Friday.
told you from day or week 1 you would forget.
I know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You would forget every week, and I would get such joy by seeing your face drop at the sound of it.
It's just sad.
I was feeling good. I was singing I Will Survive during the break. And then this.
That's not a feel-good song. That's not what I think of when I think of feel-good.
Well, I Will Survive is positive, right?
Yeah, but it's like you need to survive something.
Well, that's what the Kings fans are trying to do. Survive. Whatever this dumpster fire is.
All right. Before we get to potential impending anti-tanking measures that Adam Silver and his, what did he call them? Competition committee?
Oh,
I think
his
that's what he called them.
minions?
The minions? Now I just have Gru.
Look
and
at Adam Silver as a minion. He would be a perfect, evil minion.
Well, Adam
Wouldn't
Silver looks like a lot of things, in fairness.
Well,
this has been joked about for years.
I think being a minion is perfect.
Well, before we get into all their evil plans to fix tanking, Javier's been waiting patiently on hold. What's up, Javier? How are you?
Hello, how you guys doing today?
Good.
So, wanted to see if anybody, had the courage, any reporter, Mr. George in particular, to, go ask Mr. Christie, when is this 94 feet of defense going to be played on the court? And when is this winning the fight and winning the game going to ever take place again? I'm still waiting for this to transpire.
Javier, thank you for the call. You are more than welcome to try and do this job if you think you could do it better, but I will tell you we have talked about that with Doug Christie before, and Doug Christie expressed his frustration about that very openly at the beginning of the season, and I think for his own mental health had to back off on it because obviously it wasn't there, and this roster was not capable of doing it to a level that he expected. I think we all know that the 94 feet they were just buzzwords in training camp that were not even remotely close to being a thing. And the captain or leader of that 94 feet club, in theory, is no longer here in Dennis Schroeder. He was supposed to be the guy that did that the most. So I get Javier's point. Like the whole saying we're never going to lose both the game and the fight again. That was during the preseason that he said that.
That seems like 2 years ago, by the way.
Yes, it does. And the 94 feet from training, it's a joke now.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a joke, and we understand it's a joke. So obviously, just add it to the list
and
of things.
And he's not gone back to saying that in pressers.
No, he now says the standard. The standard is the standard, and that's kind of his new fallback line for Doug. And I understand what he's trying to say, and the reality is, it doesn't. If Doug Christie had said anything about 94 feet, if Doug Christie were to take the podium tomorrow and go, yeah, 94 feet was the goal, but we're not capable of doing it, and we need to find a group that's more capable of doing that. Would that make anybody feel better? Would that make you feel better? We can all see and know that words don't matter with this team at this point. It's all about action, and the action on the court is far from 94 feet. It's far from winning both the game and the fight. Just focus on being competitive on a nightly basis. Let's start there.
But will Adam Silver take action?
Well,
him and his minions?
He's going to do something about it because we can't have tanking now. Grrr!
Get off my lawn.
No more tanking, anybody. We're changing the rules. I do understand that tanking has gotten to an extreme this year because just more teams are doing it. And the wrong teams are complaining about it. Meaning the Oklahoma City Thunder and Sam Presti in particular, which to me is hypocritical and funny and ironic in so many ways, considering, OKC didn't openly tank. No, but when they traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they intentionally sat him some games to help them lose so that they could secure as many draft picks as possible. They ended up with the second overall pick. They got Chet Holmgren. That certainly has helped. Granted, Sam Presti is drafted very, very well. He's had plenty of darts to throw at the board with the amount of draft picks that he traded for. So I respect the hell out of Sam Presti as a general manager, but it's just funny now that you're complaining about the Utah Jazz.
Now. It's convenient to complain now.
Right.
Let's just call it what it is.
Listen, the NBA can do whatever the hell they want after the Kings get AJ Devonta. How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
Well, because it might be changing after that.
Give the Kings a number 1 overall pick or number 2 overall pick this year, and then you can change all the rules you want. Who cares? But in all seriousness, there are a lot of discussions happening on a variety of different potential fixes for anti-tanking. We're going to run through this list and talk about whether or not we think it's a good change, a bad change, will it work, is it a bad idea? And the first one is something that we have already talked about at length when this tanking conversation really started a couple weeks ago. This, I think, is brilliant. This, I think, needs to happen regardless. First-round picks can now only be protected top 4 or top 14 plus. I think that is huge because, yes, you have your traditional quote-unquote tanking teams that are trying to secure the best draft lottery odds and their best chance at a number 1 overall pick. The Kings are in that group, I guess, although I don't know how much the Kings are intentionally losing, how much they just suck. But you have a lot of teams that are just trying to hold on to their draft pick and not lose it in another trade that they made. The Utah Jazz are one of them. The Indiana Pacers are another one, right, with the crazy protections that they put in the Zubats trade. They're trying to fall in a very particular, or very either top, was it 5 or bottom like 14 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because after that, like that 6 through 13 range or something like that is not, 6 through 9 or something. It's not their pick anymore.
It's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Whatever it is. Regardless, like that's crazy protections, and all these ridiculous protections of draft picks are causing multiple teams to have to tank just to hold on to their pick, not to win the lottery, but just to maintain their pick.
When did that all come into place?
What do you mean?
Just all the protections.
I think it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But I think protections have gotten more extreme recently.
And I agree with you. That's a thing that could be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
That could maybe change a little bit of it, right? Like, is it going to fix it completely? No. But I think it's a simple enough thing to not try to completely mess with the system that could make it a little less intensified right now. Because it just, to me, like Adam Silver in the league, they just get too detailed with some of these things. And it makes for more problems sometimes.
It creates a lot of convoluted scenarios that incentivize more teams to lose games at this point because they need to be in a certain window to not lose their draft pick. It just adds more reason for teams who truly aren't in the mix for the number 1 overall pick. Like the Utah Jazz aren't. They might get lucky in the draft lottery and get the number 1 overall pick, but the Jazz are not in the mix for number 1 overall the same way they were just last year in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They're not. The Jazz are not tanking right now to get the number 1 overall pick. The Jazz are tanking to just simply keep their pick. Like, that's what we're talking about here. Remove that. You remove another incentive, another reason for teams to try and intentionally lose at this point in the season to protect their asset that they used in a trade.
Real quick, is this the stuff you're going to start listing? Is this like they're going to do one of these things?
These are all being discussed.
Okay, they could combine a couple of these things.
I imagine they would implement multiple things as long as it made sense. These are just all things that are being discussed
on the table
by the competitive committee or whatever the hell they're called. The minions.
By Adam Silver and his minions.
Number 2, lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. So basically, the season doesn't end, but tanking season ends. So let's say today or last night was the last night of counting towards the draft lottery.
Yep.
So the Kings have now locked up the number 1 pick, or they've locked up the worst record draft lottery-wise in the league. Hooray! Now you can go undefeated for the rest of the season, and it'll have no impact on that.
So I brought this up. I think it was this week I heard the morning show talk, or it was last week late. I heard the morning show bring this kind of point up. That I think it was Jason Ross maybe, that said, what if they did this like, right in pretty much that time of the season, like right when the what are you saying, the trade deadline is up.
So right in early February.
And I think we were wondering. I think you wondered like why. What would that mean though? Like, wouldn't it still be giving in teams an incentive from the start just to not
you just start
be
tanking
good?
sooner.
Yeah, you tank early in the season.
You tank early,
And
but
that
you
was-
also tank yourself into so deep a hole that why does the rest of the season matter anyway?
Yeah.
Because you're so bad because you intentionally tanked early.
You would still play the young players over the veterans at the end of the season, not for draft positioning, but for actual improvement going forward.
And now group play of the NBA Cup, which was implemented to make the beginning of the season matter more, now group play in the NBA Cup is being negatively impacted because if I'm the Sacramento Kings, well, I'm trying to lose my group now because I need to tank earlier.
Well, that's a big thing right there because I think they're trying to make this, whether we love it or not, the Cup, the NBA Cup, this is a part of what the NBA is trying to do. And they have, obviously, they're in with Emirates or whatever. And so it's money making. So if that then affects, which very well could, something like that, you're exactly right. Then you're affecting something else that then they're going to have an issue with.
And the NBA Cup incentivizes good competition for all teams because for many teams, the NBA Cup is the only hardware you have a remote chance of winning. And the NBA Cup is always compared to, the model is like the in-season tournament model and cup model of international soccer, like the FA Cup in England. And a lot of international clubs, soccer clubs, will use the cups to develop their young talent. So, because the point is you're giving meaningful opportunity that doesn't directly impact your championship odds or your championship chances, but you're giving the important game opportunity to some of your young players.
Yeah.
So there is a value, like next season, there is a value for the Sacramento Kings competing in the group stage and making it out of the group stage and into the knockout rounds in the NBA Cup led by whichever young rookie that they have. Because these are impactful playoff-like games that you are playing.
Good competition.
Good competition, something to play for, something that's meaningful. Because in reality, once the NBA Cup ends, you're now playing for development, and maybe in a perfect world, you luckily stumble your way into the playoffs, I guess. But in reality, you're not playing for a Larry O'Brien trophy. That was one of the reasons why the NBA Cup was made to begin with. It's not just to give something to play for early on in the season and make it matter. It's to give teams that aren't championship contenders something to compete for.
It's also about money.
And money. That part too.
And that's why Taco, they're not going to get rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, they sold that as part of the TV deal too. Like, there's no
Which
way.
was the whole reason they created it in the first place, was to sell it as part of the TV deal.
The NBA Cup is not going nowhere. All right, so we have first round picks can be protected, only top 4 to top 14. Or top 14 plus. I like that one a lot. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. I don't like that. Don't think it would work. Here's another one. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes.
Okay.
So a perennial bottom feeder cannot consistently be there. Meaning, if you are in the top 4 a certain amount of times, regardless of how you hit on those drafts, you better turn that into something, and you're now incentivized to compete for something, because you're not going to be back there just because you keep screwing it up.
I'm not, and I know Kings fans might not love this one.
I think it's good.
But I actually like it.
I do too.
I think it puts some, honest, like, you've got to do something. You're going to get a little time to do it, but you can't just keep failing at it.
Yep.
Like, hold these organizations accountable in a way.
Yep. If you have multiple opportunities to draft well and you don't draft well, you should not be. That's where the David Aldridge comment of like the draft is a welfare system.
Okay.
That at that point now it's like you had your chances. You just suck. And to be honest, like the Kings have not been consecutively top 4, but the Kings had a long stretch of drafts during the playoff drought where they were typically in like the 6 to 9 range that they botched over and over and over and over again. It's not as bad. But if they had Marvin Bagley, Keegan Murray, and another pick in consecutive drafts, De'Aaron Fox, let's say, in consecutive drafts, and it didn't work out, hey man, you had your shots.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
I don't hate that at all.
No, I don't hate that. We probably think alike. We do think alike. Let's not joke each other.
Yep.
We do think alike. So maybe we are the outliers in this one.
I think a lot of people like it.
But I'm curious. Curious to see.
Just as a reference point, because it's like, how often does this happen? So the 2 times it's happened in the last 5 years was the Rockets. They went like Jalen Green 2, Jabari Smith Jr. 3, and Amin Thompson 4. Uh-huh. But like in this scenario, they wouldn't have had 3. They would have had 5 instead with the Jabari Smith Jr. one. Or like the Spurs went Wemby 1, Castle 4, Dylan Harper 2. So in that scenario, it would have been like 1... I don't know, 7 or whatever their record was that year, and then 2 for Harper instead of getting Castle.
So in theory, this rule would be if the Sacramento Kings end up with a top 4 pick this year, they cannot get 1 next year. Mm-hmm. They can get 5 through whatever, but you're not getting it's now that the Dallas Mavericks got lucky and moved up to get Cooper Flagg, they can't somehow stumble into it again.
But it kind of helps everybody in a way.
Yeah.
So it would be like, you know how everyone's running the tankathon and they keep getting 5?
Yeah.
It would be like, so this year they get number 1. say they have the worst record in the league next year, you're getting number 5.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't be in the lottery, but it'll still...
Your highest odds are 5, but you can't move up past that. You can move down, but you can't move up past
Or
that.
you'd essentially be guaranteed 5 if you had the worst record. Because after the lottery's done, they just rank it by record, basically.
That would be interesting too. Is how they adjust the lottery system to where does that mean your odds adjust to where you can fall further down than 5 if in the Kings' sake, or do your odds adjust to where now 5 is your highest odds, but there's also 6, 7, and 8 that are lower? It'd be very interesting to see how they restructure the draft lottery in that way too, or if, like Kyle said, you just be locked into 5 based upon your record.
If you had the worst record, it's the way they do it now is like after they do the lottery, 5 through 14 is just worst record in reverse order.
Yep, I like this one a lot. No longer allowing a team, teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. So the Indiana Pacers, man, I'm sorry about what happened to Tyrese Halliburton. That really sucks. But there's no way that you are a championship caliber team that in one injury-riddled season should be able to add a top pick like the Pacers are going to have a really, really good opportunity to do so this year. And I can't remember off the top of my head, but the year that Steph Curry got hurt and the Warriors ended up being so bad that they got the number 2 pick, which they botched in Wiseman. Was that right after they made a conference final? So that never would have happened.
That was coming off of 6 consecutive finals.
Yes, that never would have happened. So because now this has happened twice in a short period of time. I like this one a lot.
I'm not against this one either. I think it makes sense.
We're also forgetting one, too, which I would feel so bad for them if this rule had been in effect. But the Mavericks were in the finals and then got Cooper flagged the next year.
But that's their own damn fault because their GM traded Luka.
But in this world, they literally would not have been able to get Cooper flagged.
I don't feel bad for them at all.
Yeah, I don't think that was botched.
Yep.
Like that, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think this is great. Because, again,
I don't have a problem
the
with
purpose of the draft is, in theory, to get the talent and spread the talent to the teams that need it in order to be more competitive. Not to get the talent to the lucky contender.
What is rob the poor to give to the rich? Like you don't want to do that.
Yeah, Robin Hood. Yeah, right. It's very it's very socialist. Like it's very much like the reality is like you should not have a system that rewards a good team for either having a down year injury wise or just getting lucky. Like the Mavericks did last year. And, of course, a lot of people don't think it was luck. A lot of people think conspiracy theory. But regardless, this, in theory, would prevent that from happening. I'm a big fan of this one. And that's one that you could do. Again, there are multiple of these that you could combine. You could do that one plus the removing draft protections. And immediately, that's takes out.
What I'm thinking.
That takes out the Pacers. That takes out the Utah Jazz.
Right.
There's 2 tanking teams right now that are now
I like that.
out
And
of it.
guess what? Those are, let's be real, those are the 2 teams that we have talked about the most that have made the most impact on this conversation this year.
The Wizards are the 3rd.
Yes.
How do we get the Wizards out?
How do we get these guys out?
How do we get the Wizards out?
This scenario this scenario will never happen, but technically the Wizards pick is top 8 protected this year. So if they were to magically fall to 9 somehow, which is never going to happen, they would lose their pick.
Yeah.
This one, I think, gets a little too convoluted. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. So your odds are based off of how bad you were last year and how bad you were this year. Doesn't that simply mean that you have to
tank
be bad
for longer?
You have to be bad longer to get better odds?
Yeah,
I get that that stops a team, again, like Indiana from having a championship caliber year and then a really bad year and getting I get that part. But now you're telling the Sacramento Kings, hey, you got to suck for 2 years in order to have the best odds.
Which, by the way, the Kings would be like, well, okay.
Okie dokie.
Got it.
Well, we're not trying to, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. I don't hate this because I think the league does not want the play-in to be the worst place you could possibly be. They created the play-in, again, 1, for money, of course, and 2, because they wanted to incentivize more teams going for the playoffs versus pulling the plug on their season.
And right now, it's not really that.
No, because if you're a play-in team, you're in purgatory.
You're in purgatory, yeah.
If you're the 9th or 10th seed, you're in purgatory.
It's not the greatest place
because
to be.
You're either barely sneaking into the playoffs only to get rinsed in the first round by the number 1 overall, number 1 seed, or you're just going, well, forget it. I'm tanking. So this, in theory, says I can still go for the plan. This is like the Vivek Ranadive plan. This is like I can potentially still get a good pick, but I can also compete for maybe, just maybe, being a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that element of it to where it's appealing for the NBA. But by flattening the draft lottery odds to begin with, you further incentivized more teams to lose because it increased their odds of getting a high draft pick rather than giving the worst teams the highest odds.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that. They flattened the draft lottery odds in order to prevent the bottom 3 or 4 teams from all out racing in Suckville
to get to one.
Yeah. But by doing so, maybe you handled the top 3 a little bit better, but you also said, hey, team 8, 9, 10, 11, you can be the next Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't hate. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite one, but I'm not against that.
Yeah.
It'd have to be paired with a couple.
I think
or
there's something there to keep the play-in from being purgatory.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I think that could be added to something.
But you have to figure out how you do that in a way that doesn't basically now incentivize half the league to tank, not just a third or a quarter of the league to tank like we're seeing right now. And finally, this one is just lottery in the purest form. Flatten odds for all lottery teams.
A's fans, Kings fans ain't going to like this one because
Nope.
they ain't lucky.
Nope.
They ain't lucky. I'm not lucky. I don't like it for that reason.
It is pure chaos of the ping pong balls. Now, you could pair this with the no longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and you could pair this to where, hey, everybody has the same odds. But Dallas, you got it last year. Congratulations. You can't get it again. Kings, you got it lucky this year. Congratulations. You can't get it again, even if you're a 12-win team next season. Yeah. So you can pair these to make it a little, but
not overall.
Flattened lottery odds.
Could you imagine?
Is chaos. It's chaos. That means that I could be the 6th seed. I could be the Toronto Raptors now, be the 6th seed and win the draft.
Yeah, and not going for that one.
Nuts.
Not going for that
Kayla,
one.
you say, Kings fans wouldn't go for this because they wouldn't get lucky, but the NBA used to have this system of the flattened lottery odds.
And they changed it because it sucked.
And in 1989, with the same 11% chance as everyone else, the Kings landed their only number 1 pick in franchise history.
And how'd that go? Who they picked?
Well, they did use it to draft Purvis Ellison.
Ooh, that part. That part not as good.
But they did. That's the only. All I'm saying is that in the history of the lottery, the only
I get what
time.
you're trying to say here, Kyle. I get what you're trying to say.
I like some of these. I think there's something there.
Yeah.
I think these are all possibilities that you have to tinker with and adjust, and you don't just have to talk about these rules and regulations. You have to talk about the ripple effect. You have to try and predict how this changes your league, how it changes the market, and how it changes team behavior.
Because you can't be coming back 2 more years from now saying, well, this didn't work. We got to change it again.
Yes.
Like, you got to make sure what you're doing in long-term effect is going to probably be for the better.
Because that's what's happened here, Kayla.
Exactly.
This flattened lottery odds system, it's been this way for a decent chunk of time now.
Mm-hmm.
The team behavior has changed so drastically this year. That's why they're doing this.
Yeah.
The system hasn't been the problem.
Yeah.
The team behavior now is. So you implement any of these rules, how does it impact team behavior? Okay, well now, like we said with the flattened lottery odds, now if it results in 3 lotteries in a row where playoff teams in the same conference win, and you have teams at the bottom, the Sacramento Kings, going, what the hell? What do we do? You have to predict. You have to have a plan in place of what do we do when that happens, if that happens, because you're opening the door to that becoming a possibility. Because there's a very good chance that you could go on a stretch where the worst teams in the league stay the worst teams in the league for consecutive years because they never get the pick or the help that they need to get out of it.
And that could be really detrimental to the league.
Right, and that could throw off any competitive balance that you have because this team has no hope of getting out.
Nope.
So it's just, that's what's fun about these discussions. I would love to be a fly on that wall. Just to listen.
I would too. And by the way, did we get I can't remember because I looked at the article yesterday. did we get a timeline of when this could take place? Because I'm joking about like, let's get the Kings pick this year and get top 3. But I kind of have a feeling that it might be in place sooner than later.
No, my understanding is these new rules will be in place for next season. That's my understanding. But I'm not 1,000% sure on that. Let me double check if Shams mentioned any sort of timeline in particular, because I retweeted it. Where are you? Here we go. Commissioner Adam Silver informed the league's 30 general managers on Thursday that the NBA plans to make anti-tanking rule changes for next season.
Okay, so for next season? All right.
So this season will play out the way it's played out, but next season there will be some changes on the way. So this is going to be a major summertime conversation too, which
there are
makes
going to be some busy people this summer in the NBA.
League meetings in Las Vegas are going to be juicy, let me tell you.
Yes, they are.
I cannot wait to find out more about that. I also cannot wait for Kyle's curveball coming up next. What's Kyle have planned? We have no idea, but we'll find out after the break.
I'm scared.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-230-2777.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe Show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Catch all the action at Sky River Casino. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room. Plus, with 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations, and Sky River rewards that add up and up. There's something for everyone. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience new heights. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hobblet way. Transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hobblet way. Experience the difference at HobbletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
How far do you hit your 7-iron? The answers will tell you which tees to play, according to Josh Sens in Golf Magazine. Deep down, you know you shouldn't be playing from the tips, but it's common for golfers to play from too far back. Aside from higher scores, rounds become a grind and golf becomes much less fun. After several years of research, the USGA unveiled a new data-driven offering to find the proper tees called Best Tees. If you know how far you hit your 7-iron, Best Tees will tell you which tee boxes to play. A typical male golfer should be playing from 6,100 yards and a typical female golfer from 4,400 yards. Most players have a good idea of their 7-iron distance, with average male's distance of 138 yards and average female's of 100 yards. Throw out the occasional perfect shot, which travels more than those distances, and concentrate on your average. This will allow you to reach the vicinity of most greens in regulation and let you hit a variety of clubs on approach shots. Leave your ego at home and give it a chance. You'll have more fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sports Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and zero security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It's Friday afternoon, which means it's time to get crazy. It's Kyle's Curveball on Matt and Kayla.
Before Kyle's Curveball, there was a really good question that was asked here on the text line from the 262. It's Craig. He says, wait, what if you traded for that pick?
Right.
Now, in my mind, what would make sense, and we're talking about all the different potential conversations and rules that the NBA is discussing implementing to help tanking next season.
Yeah.
In my mind, let's say they have the rule where you cannot be top 4 in consecutive years. That means if I trade for the Dallas Mavericks pick this year, I acquire their rule that they can't be in the top. They can't be in the top 4 because it's not me trading for another pick for me. It's not me because then you'll just see people hoarding picks. It's I am acquiring your pick in your situation. So if the Kings won the draft lottery this year, they could probably more freely trade next year's draft pick to make whatever kind of move they're trying to make because they would know, okay, I can't be top 4 this year. On the flip side of that, that pick is now less valuable because teams know it can't be top 4 again. So that I would imagine that's how it would work.
Absolutely. But that's a good explanation for our text liner. I don't know who that was.
All right, time for Kyle's curveball. What's up, Kyle? What you got for us today?
Yeah, Kyle's curveball time. I like to come up with fun games. And yesterday I was watching our favorite show, The Traders.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the Kings game, I was watching that.
Better priorities,
It was a good choice. But I started to think, Matt George is applying to go on this show.
I am.
That's true.
And we have no idea how good he would actually be at the game. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's see if we can come up with a little Traders game for you guys to play on the show here.
Let's do this.
All right. So to do that, we would need, like 16, 17 players in the game or something like that. I thought to myself, USA scored again.
No, they scored back-to-back goals in a matter of seconds.
4-0.
They're up 4-0.
Good for them.
Okay, sorry. I was getting excited there.
I said, where we can find 16 or 17 people to play our Traders game?
What?
On the Sacramento Kings. We're going to play Sacramento Kings Traders.
Holy smokes.
Here today.
Okay.
So, obviously, we can't do games or anything like that. And for people who haven't seen the game show, it's essentially where, there's people who are trying to hide their identities and eliminate everyone else in the game, and then you end up at the end and you win. It's very fun.
Yep. Wonderful game.
So, you guys are going to have to snuff out who on the Sacramento Kings is a traitor.
Oh, okay. So we are the faithful.
I like it.
You guys are the faithful, and I'm going to be Alan Cummings.
Okay.
Oh, boy. You have to dress like it.
He does have some
his outfits are phenomenal.
Incredible outfits, by the way.
Alan he's
I thought you were talking about me.
Well,
look at my
Actually,
beautiful
Kyle
outfit
could
today.
Definitely
Kyle's
pull that
he's
off.
got the pants.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
All right. So obviously, we can't do actual games and contests for you guys to snuff it out, but I will say this. Pay attention to little clues I might leave throughout there. Think about relationships on the team.
Okay.
Who's from what era? Things of those sorts. I'll be leaving little clues to help you guys out all throughout the game.
Okay.
All right. So I'm Alan
So
Cummings.
we are the faithful.
Yes, you are the faithful trying to snuff out the traitors. And I have my 3 traitors now selected. So we're at the first round table right now. You guys, obviously, blind shot at the board.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can pull up the Kings roster, too, if it helps. There's 16 people in the game. We're counting the two-way players also. So shot in the dark, you guys can talk through it for 30 seconds before you have to make a decision.
It couldn't possibly be Dylan Cardwell. He's too sweet, and we'd catch him. Zach LaVine feels too obvious and devious. DeMar DeRozan is very, very cerebral, so I think DeMar is a very good chance. Russell Westbrook, he's the personality. He's the guy that'll explode to distract you. So I don't think it's Russell Westbrook.
Wait, is this just me guessing?
No.
Well, you guys are talking through it right now.
I'm just thinking of obvious picks of who the
what?
traitor would be and who wouldn't.
Yeah, well, the first round is hard because obviously it's blind shot in the dark. Very similar to the rail traders.
I think sometimes we got to take into account, Matt, on this. We can't overthink it.
Oh, for sure. And that's exactly what I would do. Like Keegan Murray, the silent killer.
Yeah.
Malik Monk
and even Westbrook, he's too loud. Well, look at Candace on, Traders. She's a loudie.
See, to me, Russell Westbrook might be the Michael Rappaport that is just there to spur up
All
chaos.
right, time for talk is over.
Okay.
Matt, you get to make the first selection. Who do you want to kill?
Whoa.
I'm sorry, who do you want to vote off?
Whoa.
Sorry, who do you want to banish?
I am going to banish. I love him. I'm going to banish Malik Monk.
Banishing Malik Monk from our castle, first and foremost. Malik was a faithful.
Oh, Malik,
unfortunately.
no, I'm sorry, Malik.
Sweet pizza guy Malik, how could you ever
Because
think he
Malik
was a
would be
traitor?
so good at it because he could rally votes. He's such a good personality.
So that's the first person you decided to banish.
Well, yes.
Okay.
You threatened me.
All right, well, the traitors have struck. They have murdered our friend Keegan Murray.
All right.
Keegan.
So now you have 30 seconds to discuss amongst yourselves, and then Kayla will make the next banishment.
Why would they kill Keegan? Who would kill Keegan?
I'm kind of thinking, I don't know who would kill Keegan.
Who wants Keegan's spot on this team?
DeAndre Hunter wants to work with Keegan.
You would think so.
So,
There's 14 players still available.
I don't know why Max is like shouting the rooftop to me. Like, I don't know, because I think of him as French and like he has like,
But he's smart.
He's
Stanford
very
grad.
smart.
All right, time for talk is over. Kayla,
Maxim Reno.
you would like to banish Maxim Reno from our castle.
Yeah.
I can't really do an Alan Cummings, but
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best.
You can be Kyle.
Well, you've banished another faithful, unfortunately.
We're not good at this.
Maxim
This is how
Reno.
it always starts, though.
I know.
Maxime
yeah, they
was
do.
a faithful.
They kind of get X'd out and lose early, but now they get on a groove.
And now the traitors, they've struck again. They have murdered our friend Precious Achua.
Okay, so Achua's down.
Achua is gone. So these are the 12 in alphabetical order, as to not give away anything. Alphabetical order. You have Dylan Cardwell, Devin Carter, Neek Clifford, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Eubanks, DeAndre Hunter, Zach LaVine, Doug McDermott, Daquan Plowden, Domantas Sabonis, and Isaiah Stevens.
Okay,
what do you think about Drew?
Sorry, and Russell Westbrook.
It could be Drew. It has to be a veteran because none of the veterans are like housewives. Housewives don't take out other housewives.
Because like Drew wants to be able to play more. You're looking at who's been
Drew
taken
is interesting. I think it's Drew or
You go next. It's your pick.
I like Drew.
Take the shot.
I like Drew a lot. I like Drew. I like Russ, and I like Domas. Domas is so he seems so friendly, but we know he can be.
I like
you know
that.
I think I know what I'm gonna do.
All right, Matt.
I'm gonna banish Domantas Sabonis.
You're going to banish Domantas Sabonis right now. Well, unfortunately, that's another faithful. So we've now banished 3 faithfuls from the game.
We're getting closer to the money, though.
I know.
Yes.
We're staying alive. They ain't killing us.
And now, unfortunately, we have another murder in Drew Eubanks.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't pick Drew Eubanks.
No, they've murdered our friend Drew Eubanks.
It's my 8th year in the league. At some point, you got to just take the shot.
Okay.
So we have 10 remaining and an unspecified number of traitors, but you haven't gotten any of them yet. So
Who's the most Rob the Snake Hunter?
Rob the Snake Hunter.
Who do you feel resembles somebody who's just so nonchalant? I feel like that's Zach LaVine.
So
he's
just
so nonchalant.
Levine might be a good one, but Levine he can be a little feisty. We saw with the courtside fan.
Right.
I like Devin Carter. Devin Carter's up there for me too.
Oh, why Devin, do you
I don't
think?
know. I don't know.
This is hard because you have to just go based on context clues and relationships
'cause
that you guys know.
Devin has but can we link the murders to Devin that have happened so far?
Now I'm second guessing Dylan because he's so innocent that he'd be
he's
perfect.
unassuming.
All right.
And now we have centers that
Let's
are
go with
dropping
Dylan.
like
Time
Let's
for
go with
talk is
Dylan.
over. Kayla, you get to make the pick.
I'm gonna go with Dylan Cardwell.
All right, we've murdered our beam man, Dylan Cardwell.
We banished him. We banished him. We didn't murder him.
Banished Dylan Cardwell. Yeah. I'm not doing a good Alan Cummings in terms of banish or murder. Well, guess what? Dylan Cardwell was a traitor.
Of course, it's too obvious.
Oh, let's go.
What a tremendous job on your guys' part. But
He's not the mastermind, though. He can't be. He was the pawn. He was being used.
For sure.
the traitors, unfortunately, have struck again. This time, they've murdered DeMar DeRozan.
Oh my gosh, so he's out.
They finally took out a
Yes.
veteran. Another veteran took out a veteran.
Veterans are gone. So for reference, here's who's remaining in our castle. Devin Carter, Neek Clifford, DeAndre Hunter, Zach LaVine, Doug McDermott, Daquan Plowden, Isaiah Stevens, and Russell Westbrook.
It's one of Russ or Zach. Russ or Zach have to be one. It's not both of them, but one of them has to be.
Oh gosh, I think Westbrook is too obvious. I think Zach can be a little bit more
Cerebral?
yeah.
When did the traitors start turning on each other?
You picked
No, I picked the last one. Didn't I?
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I will go Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine is who we're banishing from the castle here. Zach LaVine was a faithful,
Dang
unfortunately.
it.
A
Sorry,
faithful, loyal Sacramento King.
Well,
I just guess I guess like I mixed real life too much into it.
I guess so.
And now we have another murder on our hands, and it is unfortunately Daquan Plowden.
Okay, because I was getting close to saying one of these unassuming two-way players.
Nope, the two-way players are gone. So we're down to 6 members of our castle. We have Devin Carter, Neek Clifford, DeAndre Hunter, Doug McDermott, Isaiah Stevens, and Russell Westbrook remaining in our castle.
DeAndre Hunter sleeps with one eye shut.
That was a really good joke.
An
Kayla.
eye patch is a dope thing to have as a killer too. You might be onto something with Doug McDermott.
I think he got killed.
Oh, is he?
No, he's still alive.
he isn't?
So, yes, again, just to rehash, six left. Devin Carter, Neek Clifford, DeAndre Hunter, Doug McDermott, Isaiah Stevens, and Russell Westbrook.
By the process of elimination, I said it has to be one of Russ or LaVine, and it wasn't LaVine, so I feel like it should be Russ, but I could be totally wrong.
Go with your gut.
You know what, no, it's your call. You're this one. It's Doug or Russ. Or Devin. Ooh.
I'm going with Dougie.
We're going Doug McDermott here to kill. Doug McDermott was a loyal faithful.
Yep.
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
It's
Sorry,
one
Doug.
of Devin or Russ.
Sorry, Doug.
Well, unfortunately, since we're down to 5 in our game now, you know how this goes on the traders. You guys will not get to know the identities of anybody left. So you guys will banish as many people as you want. You can finish anywhere between 2 and 4 at the end. And once you feel like you have all the traders out of the castle, you can declare the game to be over.
Okay.
Of the 5 people left, we have Devin Carter, Neek Clifford, DeAndre Hunter, Isaiah Stevens, and Russell Westbrook. Only one trader has been banished.
So we already have one rookie, so I think Neek is good.
Okay.
I think Neek is cool. So I think we should take Neek to the end.
Yep.
DeAndre Hunter's the new guy.
He sleeps with one eye open.
Yeah, I want to banish Devin.
I know. Goodness.
I have to banish Russ too.
Gosh, USA scored again.
I feel really 5-0. Wow. Can we banish both Russ and Devin for sure?
For sure, that's fine with me.
Okay, so Russ and Devin are gone.
That's cool with me.
So we have Neek and we have
DeAndre and Isaiah Stevens.
Isaiah could fly so far.
I think so too. He's like Eric from Traders.
And Isaiah and Neek are former teammates, and they always say you don't murder someone that you know you have in your pocket. So one of the two of them
15
could be keeping
seconds.
the other around. Let's get rid of Isaiah.
Yep, I'm good.
Should we take Neek and DeAndre with us into the final?
Yeah.
All right.
Neek and DeAndre are with us.
So you've now banished Devin Carter, Isaiah Stevens, and Russell Westbrook.
You got it.
From the castle, which leaves us Neek Clifford and DeAndre Hunter at the very end of our game.
Give us good news.
Did we win?
Well, DeAndre Hunter, who sleeps with one eye open, he was in fact a faithful.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So you've made it down to one man.
Neek, you wouldn't do this to me.
Neek Clifford.
Neek, you're such a nice guy. The big red dog wouldn't do it.
Neek Clifford.
No, he wouldn't.
At the end of our game.
He wouldn't.
Was a traitor.
Oh, Neek, you did that to us.
Yes.
Breaks my heart.
Dylan and Neek in the
turret? Neek, and Russell Westbrook were original traders.
Russ for sure.
And then because you didn't kill multiple traders, we never got the chance to, convince a faithful to become a trader.
All right.
So you were left with Neek, who played it all the way to the end.
Man, now I have to explain to Neek at the next game that I see him why I'm mad at him.
I know, right? And you should, and then make him watch the traders.
I'm just going to look at him and just call him a trader and just see how he reacts. All right. Well, that was fun.
That was awesome.
I love me a game of the traders. We should play that again. Coming up next, it is time for Crosstalk. We got Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles joining us to wrap up our week and get their final show started. You are listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their Midweek Madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Game after game, I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light of the purple rain.
Hello, Matt.
Second time we've played this today.
I know. I appreciate it.
I love
every
this
game's
song.
one I hate.
Thank you. Chris Watkins did a great job on the video.
Yeah, he did.
Great job.
I was a consultant.
Thank you. It kind of does have that Matt George feel to it.
I pitched every idea.
I appreciate that.
Didn't make it.
Best video the station has ever put out. Best music video, right? I mean, by far.
Yeah, probably the best.
Look at
By
Matt's face.
far.
Yeah. Easily.
Everything else should probably be deleted from our memories, right?
Matt is now
moving this monitor so I don't have to see him.
Doesn't have to look at you.
What do you mean? Was Whitey dancing on a dock? I don't think so.
I was gonna say.
Oh no, but also
I'm
no
just saying,
dumpsters either.
We were not just on site though. We traveled. We went to Old Arco.
Yeah.
We went to a basketball court in downtown.
Yeah.
We went to the Golden
How do you
One
know they
Center.
were on site? Whitey's in a black void. That could be anywhere.
We had to rent a club.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
You were at
In
Tiger?
Old Town.
That's
Literally.
That's expensive.
Literally at Tiger.
Yeah.
You know, I got the receipts to prove it.
Oh.
Oh, you're having a tough time with this whole Kings 15-game losing streak, aren't you?
It's not.
Buckle up.
It's not the losing streak that bothers me. It's how they lost last night's game. It was literally worse than the last 2 road games before the All-Star break. It was despicable. It was so, like, the game was so pathetic. The effort was so pathetic. The fact that there was nothing consistent about that game. It was not just we could blame all the veterans on it. The veterans played terrible in the first half. And then the second half, the kids didn't look like they knew how to play. It was just, from top to bottom, it just was not a fun way to make that history.
It almost looks like, I don't know, help me out here. It almost looks like they were.
Knows where he's going.
I know, I'm
right?
trying to figure it out. It almost looks like they're playing a 24-year-old late first rounder, a second rounder, and some G League guys. That's what it looks like.
And Russell
Yeah.
Westbrook.
That's what, it does have that feel.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are we calling Maxim Reno a G League guy?
No, he was a second rounder.
Oh.
Shout out Daquan Plowden.
So Devin Carter's not in there?
So is he a lot? Is he
former lottery
okay, so
How dare you?
If that's what we're doing,
That
I
makes
mean,
it
you
so
couldn't
much
trade him
better.
for a second rounder today.
if that's what we're doing, then yes, the 2 first rounders.
Yes, they're still all NBA players that for some reason couldn't even hold on to the basketball or make a simple pass last night. That was the part that, in all seriousness, that was what concerned me the most, because what we talked a lot about on the show was these final now 25 games, but last night was 26, I felt were imperative to deciding or figuring out, is Doug Christie the right guy to start this rebuild with going into next season? And what I wanted to see was at the very least, from yesterday to game 82, would we see improvement? Would we see competitive basketball? Would we see consistency? And the veterans didn't play that much. DeMar played 19 minutes. Russ played less than 17. So we can't just blame them for it.
Right.
The young guys were out there when the wheels completely fell off, and there just was no semblance of any of the standard or identity or anything.
But that's like, if I may, Alan's rubbing off on me. You tell me if you like this or not. That's like, Matt, that's like you want to hire a painter.
Oh,
And
yeah, I like where this is going.
So, hey, I want you to paint the garage here, and I'm going to determine whether I want to hire you, but I need you to wear a blindfold when you're doing it. And then I'm going to tell whether he did a good job or not.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
I like that one, Whitey.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to go with a relationship analogy.
I'm not as good
Okay.
at those as you are, but I'm learning.
Is the analogy that the young players are not equipped to play?
Doug Christie's the painter. And you're trying to figure out, can he do the job? He's got no chance to do the job.
That's right.
So you're saying Doug is his hands are. It's not Doug's fault that
you just can't tell.
Exactly.
You can't tell.
This isn't about Doug to me. This is about the fact that we don't know if any of these guys are actually that good at basketball.
Okay,
But we don't know if Doug Christie's a good head coach.
We don't know. We don't know anything.
We know nothing.
We know nothing.
We're literally
And that's the beauty
We're living in
and the curse.
unsolved mysteries. Like, that is what we're living
You
in.
watch it and you think, what just happened?
Yeah.
We were talking this week about movies that are most like this King season.
Oh,
No,
gosh.
don't.
Oh.
And I forget what I had Infinity Wars, because it's like everybody's disappearing. But I heard you today say they're like Lost Boys. And I was wondering, is that what the movie that
You didn't see The Lost Boys, did you?
Is there
That's a good one.
Is it?
Okay. You didn't see Lost Boys?
I know,
That
but
is
did
a
you
good-
see
that's
it?
a
The
good
vampires?
Yeah.
Yeah, 80s.
Corey
Come on.
Feldman?
I love the 80s.
Yeah.
Is there any movie where, like, it's just all about quicksand and people just getting sucked under and
There was quicksand in the first live-action Jungle Book.
okay.
Okay.
Wow, what an oddly specific reference.
Because it scared the crap out of me when I was about 9 years old. I'm like, Mom, is there any quicksand in America?
Princess
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't there quicksand in Indiana Jones too?
There might
Yeah, but I love Indy.
Yeah,
I
so
love
Princess
Indiana.
Bride is what the Kings have
You
been
could
this
also
year.
have the ball rolling over everybody.
Please, well,
Drink the poison.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's so close. Once we get to game 82, it just finally just will finish like Crash Bandicoot.
I don't know.
I still don't know what that is.
Video game. I can't.
It's a video game.
I can't.
I had no. Again, I walked into the Golden One Center expecting history to be made last night. I walked into the Golden Ones, and I also acknowledge that a loss in itself is not a bad thing. We've talked about losing right now is in the best interest of the Sacramento Kings. But find a way to make this season constructive or mean something or in some sort of way. And you were competitive for a
That ship
quarter.
has sailed, brother.
But that's a bare minimum expectation. We can't let them off the hook for not bare minimum being competitive on a nightly basis. That wasn't competitive basketball for beyond a quarter.
I thought it was okay right before halftime. Until then, right?
Okay,
No,
Alan, the second quarter was...
They gave up 40,000
not
points
good.
in the second quarter. They gave up 46. I
Look,
think,
your team isn't there yet. You know what I mean?
They're
you got to wait for them.
But then why
No.
did
I'm just saying the players. No
But
disrespect.
they looked that way, like, in a few games here before they went on the road. Before
They
all
held
started.
Desmond Bain pointless in the first half. Why are we so negative
Held
these
the
days?
Magic to 18 in the
Yeah.
first quarter.
Come on.
Getting after it at that end.
By the way, how about a shout out to, talk about throwbacks, not Throwback Thursday, more like Flashback Friday. Javon Carter. I haven't seen that brother in about a decade since West Virginia.
That's because he's been on the Bulls.
He went off last night.
yeah.
That was you cannot have Javon Carter.
Devin Carter wasn't even the best Carter on the floor.
But there was Carter on Carter crime, which I did watch, like watching.
And by the way,
Ridiculous.
you can come here if you are really bad at shooting threes. Come to Sacramento.
Wow.
Come to Sacramento.
You'll get right in the Kings gym. That's for sure.
Wow.
Well, gents, I'm happy for the weekend. Don't worry, it'll be a lot better when the Kings take on De'Aaron Fox's San Antonio Spurs on Saturday tomorrow. I'm sure that'll be better.
Don't worry. We won't get mad De'Aaron, so it'll be fine.
What was that?
Well, one more time.
Mad De'Aaron.
We don't need any shot of Styles today. I think
Oh, with 4:30. 4:30. Oh, yeah.
No shot needed.
Locked and loaded.
I brewed it strong today.
In fact, we just need to get rid of it. He's the polar opposite of me. I started the show like ready to burn the house down, and Alan's like, "This is great. Who cares?"
He's a contrarian.
Hey,
Thank you, Whitey.
For sure.
yeah. Well, have a good show. I won't be listening. I'm just kidding. I will. Of course I will. My drive home will consist of the drive, guys. Whitey Gleason, Alan Styles wrap up your week. Coming up next. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.